Well, Navi and Fnatic, one of them is going to get pretty close to striking distance on a spot in Santiago. After this, the victor will need to win 2 series, 1 BO5 at the end. That lower bracket still gives them a chance to bounce back. Fnatic start out on Navi's pick, so they choose the side. And they will go for the defense, where already you can see Navi, you're putting the pressure on, but Vekash, oh, he flew under the radar for a moment, but Hero takes him down, and Boaster running in a little early, gets cut down to size. Kayak's got a huge challenge, and good trades from Navi set them up for a 3v2 post plant.
Yeah, I like the mid-round call. Put the pressure on, get in your opponent's face, try and overwhelm the players and not allow for that retake to be properly set up. Puts them into an advantageous position, and with Ruxic,
it's cut off the screen,
in an aggressive spot, he's going to be able to hold the line. Know that there's no flank coming either because of the trap, and it just leaves Filu jiggling. And he's already seen everything. That's all they needed to know.
There's some danger up close from Alpha. That bandit, the fire rate, not even used there. The one tap clean to start this off. Ruxic running out of those headhunter shots, down to 2, and no heads have been found. That nade can take him out. It's chased him all the way back to main. Bought some time, but time ticking for Crashies as the defuse not even halfway, but he gets it there. He sticks it under his nose. The time surely. A second on, and he's won it. A missed shot from the headhunter. That could have defined it, Tom. 6 HP, and he's got it done.
That's a crazy Red Bull clutch. It's round 1. Fnatic on split has always given me, well, it's given great moments, but also nightmare flashbacks. And that might be a nightmare flashback for Angel, just kicking things off. Round number 1 should have been dead to rights. And even the second pick, once he got it half, you kind of think that's a moment where Ruxic could have waited a little bit longer. But you'd think, I've got him dead to rights. There's no way he survives this. Crashies does.
Damage getting called out by your teammates as well. You're like, 6 HP? No, yeah. Hassle, man. That's an easy kill, but oh, so many chances to close that out. It felt like none of them connected, and a big round for Crashies. Player spotted in the corner. Alpha's gonna immediately get out of there, yet still, he's lit down to 20 HP, some decent damage. The headhunter only needs the 1 shot as Boaster goes down. And Alpha still tagged. It looks like there could be a weakness to exploit towards that B site.
Yeah, the major threat has gone, though. That's the only problem. That headhunter, there's a reason that Angel was talking about wanting Ruxic more and more on it. We even heard from Ruxic himself in the interview saying that, like, it's just kind of boring. You just click heads. And I was like, yeah, it's not boring to watch. And also, like, if you win, I don't think anybody cares how exciting you find it. But I guess also when you are probably the best controller, maybe other than Kiko, that played in EMEA last year, maybe you don't want to be switching roles too much. I can understand that as well. We'll see if that's
30 seconds left.
A piece that will change. Of course, for NAVI, feeling out the map, I'm sure they'd love to get an additional orb as well, which is going right into the hands of Filu. However, getting anything more done from here is going to be difficult.
Well, let's see. Pressure put on. Alpha tag low. There is a chance. If they can take this site, if they can deal with Crashies, and they will eventually. Leaving it down to a 1v2 snake bite. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, that's it, done. Still, all in all, Tom, great damage coming out of this round if you're a Navi fan.
Yeah, for sure. Like, this was a couple of shotguns brought up alongside SMGs and a rifle, so it really isn't too bad. And yeah, coming in with a showstopper for the next round for Philo after picking up the orbs and getting a kill and getting the plant and dying.
Yep.
And he's done excellent work. So that's something that they can definitely look to put into this next round. What will be up against, I imagine, a fairly weak purchase from Fnatic other than the singular rifle.
Yeah, we'll see how they decide to play that one out, but you'd be surprised if there's too much investment. Good signs early on for Navi. Filu, showstopper online. I think if you were going to put a big investment into this round, it would be too much of a risk. That showstopper could turn the tide in their favor. The question is, will it be used to entry up against the weaker buy from Fnatic, or saved as a last port of call and disaster? Nice nade. That's landed well, but those players able to make a little distance behind it, so end of the world. Yet Navi not deterred. One player towards the B site. The rest of them ready to break out on A any second now.
Tiger needs to clear this close angle. I'm getting a little bit nervous. One through, runs in, but it's a disappearing act. Allows Hero a freebie. We saw the stat a moment ago. He's got the most kills so far in Kickoff, which is surprising considering the performance that Alpha had. They've still left, yeah. Xiao is very far away from the rest of the team. This is going to be the latest lurk of all time. But luckily, they're still going to have a 3v2 on the site. Kind of looking at Vekaj, though.
Xiao's even taking his time. Now they know that they're here. Xiao speeds up. He's heard the steps, knows there's a player going to screens, and the eyes on sight now focused in. Ruxic locked in on that angle, waiting for them to step forward, and if they take too long, it'll be death from behind. Snakebite buys time. Ruxic's off, chimes in, and Xiao has completely whiffed. Vekaj now has a chance. Surely not another Fnatic clutch, and this time it will go to NAVI in the end, but wow, a dramatic entrance from Xiao and an immediate exit.
I honestly, if someone can download the replay of this and just, no, not even a slow-mo. I want someone to do a POV of the entire round from Xiao's perspective, of just him lurking on one side of the map and just slow walking.
No! Oh, it looks like my ranked games.
The funny thing is he is so unlucky by the fact that Vekaj just decides at that moment, like, I'm just going to walk backwards at full pace. Like, not even shifting.
Like, left, right, turn, why backwards? Why backwards? But okay. It's worked remarkably well. NAVI, maybe thanks to Xiao, they end up with that round. Maybe
it's not great. They lost so many players, and this is a good opportunity now for Fnatic to almost completely reset them. Yeah, the showstopper's still in play, but Nightfall's been picked up on the other side. Hero under pressure. He's had a phenomenal kickoff so far, revealed in the corner. Kayak knows exactly where he is, and that's an important man to clear. Also the lurker as well, so that is half the map that now has no NAVI presence.
For NAVI, credits put in. Do you now use the showstopper? Burst through, it looks like a dog's going to be the point of contact. Showstopper active, fired out, and lands on Alpha. Yeah, Vekaj ran for the hills, so Heaven Control given up, but down below, lurking, waiting, is Boaster, and he strikes at just the right moment. Another blinded up, the spray was good, running and gunning as Fnatic set their sights on 3 and lock it in moments later.
That's going to be a super painful round for NAVI. Not only just that sectioning off, that's clearly just a plan. Like, they know that Hero's going to likely lurk on this side of the map. You can clear him out, you can allow for early rotations. But then even just, well, the positioning from Boaster, but also the spams that were coming out from Vekaj. He did a lot of damage just through the edge of the smoke as they tried to cross him towards the site.
Let's go, boys.
3-1, early reset. A one saving grace is that tour de force for Ruxic, but bear in mind, I'll be honest, when looking at the veto, I thought this would end up as the third map. Both teams 2-0, I didn't think anybody would be picking it. If Fnatic were able to take their opponent's map choice, going into Breeze, we haven't seen NAVI play it yet, and I believe so far it's been their second ban in the majority of series.
And all signs pointing to NAVI needing to find that success on this first map. At least to look a bit better. And it could be from now. I mean, warning signs early as Fnatic push up to 4, assuming nothing crazy happens here with the pistols. But that tour de force still gives them a chance, as you said. Small as it may be. But that last round, it does feel like, you know, they did so well to fight back into Be Heaven, trade out that showstopper for a kill, for a bit of space. Ooh, rare missed shot. Filu was a little ahead of the pack, and guess who's getting dropped early again? Filu jumping around there, but although players have gotten close on the back of his martyrdom, they have been spotted by the reveal, so for Hero to get out of here is going to require a bit of luck, or maybe...
It's a distraction.
It's going to just require Ruxic to strike in the right moment. He's here already. Oh, but Kayak's used the ult. That's so unlucky.
I like it. Just a get out of jail free card. Allows him to clear all of the site, give information over, doesn't risk an operator going into enemy hands, and Crashies really is just making sure his teammates can stay safe. I think he might have been.
I think he might have been. And then just shot him in the head.
Hey, he's got a good read. He's got a good read. But that good recovery, because that looked like it could have got out of control, especially with Ruxic taking over mid-control. That got a little bit dangerous, but I like the fact that Kayak wasn't afraid to just go, okay, I'm going to burn my ult here just to make sure that I don't throw the round.
Well, he read that timing perfectly. I mean, I think all agree, if he waited 5 more seconds, that's done. He's dead. But then you look at if Ruxic was just that little bit quicker around those corners. Great read from Kayak.
So much more stressed in the coaching booth. Like, so much more.
Oh,
okay.
Nice shot by Filu. That's a big shutdown. Look at the A site now. I mean, for Crashies, I almost expected him to start backing off to screens, but instead, he's stepping forward. He's looking for a fight, and he's got more of a fight than he wanted. Oh, no!
Yeah, that Viper screen going down. Pushed through his own pit in mid. Bekaj just managed to get rid of Xiao. That's the lurk on the other side of the map gone. And actually, Alpha has managed to clear out Hero at the same time. This is very quickly turned into a winnable position, but Ruxic patiently waiting. That operator picked up, has cleared out Alpha. The back and forth ends with NAVI in an advantage.
They know that Boaster's on screens as well. The Vekash was mid, could be wrapping behind them. The Seeker last saw him there, so a lot of attention being put towards their backs, but Fnatic have stacked up, waiting for the wall to fall, but they follow suit as NAVI find themselves on 2.
Yeah, I think that opener was important. They're just getting rid of Kayak early. Filu having a solid round. Oh, that's unlucky. Xiao just caught with the smoke in hand. But yeah, a bit of a back and forth. Even still, there's going to be the finances for at least a decent investment here. Seems like Crashies might have a piece or two missing, going to be left onto a Guardian. So a chance for NAVI to kick them while they're down. They do still have to be careful, though. That operator is still in hand. So this time it's going to be sectioned off by utility.
Oh, there's the info for Boaster. You already have so much support close by. Alpha just one away from the showstopper, but NAVI, they make all that noise and start to shift backwards. They've got Ruxic embedded.
Cheating.
In good position. Close on mid, waiting for a mistake to be made. The smoke pulled back, still gives him that opportunity. Yet they've lost Filu on that cross down on mid. The whole team swinging out. Oh, and Ruxic missing the shot. That is a costly start to this round. And but look at the players left on. What do they have to help them get into a site? I think the flashes are the only real hope here, but if they do get in, the pit could turn them around back in their favor.
Oh, anti-flash for Boaster, and then Bekaj is unblinded by the time that he makes it around the corner. They were so ready for that Sky pot flash. I think that is one of the worries when it comes to that Sky flash, is if you know that that's your opponent's main way of getting around angles, you can do exactly what Boaster did there. I'll face backwards, you hold the angle, you get blinded, I spin. And that's exactly what they needed to do to counter that flash. And well, from then onwards, what's the Hero going to do? Run in, try and take the spike and use his pit? Probably not.
It's just perfect play, and I think this is what we come to expect from, you know, one of the most experienced IGLs in the league.
It's a high bar.
It very much is. The man has been leading since, I think, since day one. Certainly since the day one of Summon FC way back, and you know, making those calls. You see in that moment, we see those 3 players left and go, oh, okay, what do they have to entry? That's already being called, calmed, and processed on the side of Fnatic. These are their tools. This is how we beat them. And the rounds closed out with ease as a result, 5-2. And when you look at NAVI right now, Tommy, you gotta wonder, what are they missing? And 2 rounds on the board? But plenty more time to play with.
Yeah, I think firstly we've seen a lot of the sort of extremities being cleared out. Like we saw Hero getting dropped, we saw Xiao getting dropped. Like I think Fnatic.
Yeah, it was the same map.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
but
it was the exact same map. They both got 33 kills on the same OT.
That Zeus also played an incredibly long game.
Yes, that was the year before. Yeah,
crazy.
This one.
So it's Zeus's fault.
Basically, more or less. The fact that they ended up tied as well is just beautiful. Same map, same kills, same record. Fnatic 5-2. We've had a moment to rest, a moment of reprieve for NAVI, but they do come in here with very little to work with. Again, even in these rounds, you have to think, if you can get to the site, that Viper's Pit can be your ally. Make it much more difficult for those rifles, to, and especially the AWP, to find the value that they want to with that investment.
He's got a showstopper. Oh, if he pops it here, he could literally kill the entire team. Well, he's going to get one of them for free anyway. Xiao tried to TP towards him. Is a showstopper coming? No, he's just jumping up to try and dodge. And to be honest, at this point, they've already got 2 openers. One of them for free. Yeah,
I think that puts Xiao 0-8 at the moment. And, you know, Not a great start. I think we've had every facet of Valorant gameplay fail.
It's because they don't have a Yoru. That he was just being the Yoru clone.
Yeah, and it almost worked except for the fact
he
that
shot the clone.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is Xiao.
30 seconds left.
And then, as a result, NAVI got...
Yeah, but there's no... he didn't realize there's no real Xiao to run behind.
That was his mistake. It's all adding up now.
He was like, wait,
there's
that
no real...
had to be me as well.
Also, there's no real Xiao on the server right now.
Okay, that was rude.
Okay, came behind someone and missed 10 bullets. So, I mean, what do you want me to say? It's been a really rough start. I really don't know what he was thinking, but I guess the dog had cleared a lot of the round. It really had. But, you know, I'm trying, brother. I'm trying to help.
I'm going to be honest with you. If the dog had cleared that corner, he'd have known Alpha was there because Alpha was in that corner.
So, Angel, I would love to now just take a timeout and bring him up here for a little try-cast with that.
I think he'd be like, sub me in, Chief.
Yeah. It's like, actually, I made a mistake.
To be honest, this was also one of Angel's best maps for calling as well.
This actually, where Philo is right now, you used to just see Angel in here non-stop.
No matter the agent, no matter the time of the round.
No, it could be 3 seconds in on breach. Guess where he's going to be? And I'm not talking defense. No. He will have he will have jumped with his knife out across mid, but still somehow survived. Here we go, Alpha. Whoa, that's a little premature. They've baited that out really nicely. Sending Ruxic in, selling that fake, and then boop, he's out of there. Your showstoppers landed for nothing, and now they can put that pressure on later. Although some players going towards the vents, they're going to make some noise and a bit of a distraction. Xiao is just lost in this instance, but it almost works out for Ruxic. He gets some damage done, but in the end, it falls apart. And I really you have to wonder, what was Xiao thinking? Oh.
So Shabu's got one back. I still look at that Viper's pit. The kill onto Crashy would be enough, but bear in mind, Crashy's knows that. So he doesn't fight. He just gets the jiggle peek, runs back all the way, and with 30 seconds left. Both players are on opposite sides of the map. I think they're literally just feeling it out, but and hoping that there's some space. Oh, I thought there was a chance, because again, maybe the kill onto Kayak could be enough, but again, you got 15 seconds. He doesn't really have much of a reason to go peeking. And then when he does, Kayak's quite good at shooting. So he's dropped the spike. Hero's now going to have to save. And I would say, like I said, he's been fantastic all the way through. He's been nullified so far, because either he's played the lurk and they've fought him, or he's just not had the impact in the round. We've not seen much from Hero so far.
Well, I mean, in this round, I'm not sure what he's supposed I'm not sure what he's supposed to do, because right away the whole plan here was to make some contact in vents, it seemed like, leave Ruxic embedded, and when they go to push behind you on mid, Ruxic gets a free pick. And instead, Xiao took his knife out in the middle of mid and got shot in the head. And then they didn't really need to push behind you because they've got the pick. And the guys that would have fought vents for info don't need info because they got the info because they saw you with your knife out walking in there. So it's just a little shaky. And honestly, for NAVI, I don't think this is something that worries me that much because I've seen Xiao play a lot. I've not seen him play like this a lot. But he does need to...
Why does that not worry?
Because it's just a flash in the pan. It's a little shaky start, but he can get there in the end. And Alpha, well, he doesn't need any sort of warming up. Nice shots.
Oh, crispy start to the round. Of course, it's a lower buy, but yeah, I would go on the other side of the coin and say I'm actually very worried because they're losing 7-2 on their own map choice.
Sure, yeah, without a doubt.
And unless something drastic changes, it looks like it's going to be 8-2.
It's more every round that goes by, I'm like, well, that's the last round. Xiao's going to make one of those plays, but it seems to be his new play style, at least in these rounds.
Okay.
Nice shutdown from Hero. And a 3 versus 3 hit going down. Okay, NAVI now have a real opportunity at converting this. Ruxic, I mean, he can get real close, but there is a player watching it for now. Boaster's up top. The timing is key as Vetgas goes down and Sociable's double surely locks in the round win.
Yeah, they know exactly where Boaster is as well. First one comes easy, but he's got a man behind him. And, well, just as I comment about Hero not really being on board, he comes in with the triple kill. Takes over the round, and, well, NAVI are back on the table once again. Big round individually from him. Like, I think it's been so difficult for them to sort of close out Crashies, and the fact that he was able to clear him and then put the pit down, that's the turning point of the round. That's what made it so much more difficult for Fnatic to get back in. Obviously, the other thing that has me a little worried is the fact that versus Liquid and versus Foot, Fnatic were better on the attack. And NAVI were also better on the defense, but...
Sure. There we go. Little silver lining for us. And a 7-5 still possible. Look, there's plenty of time for NAVI to get back into this as long as there's no more mistakes.
Go.
TP into the back lines, back to the scene of the crime. But will Xiao be a repeat offender as he moves out towards the A site? It's all open. It's being given up. The flag can now be found with Ruxic dropping crashies. That's about as good a start as you could hope for.
Yeah, he's been a menace on the A site. This time he avoided it. I think knowing that that showstopper was likely going to be coming in. And now posted up in their post-plant positions. It's going to be difficult. Still most of the utility available for NAVI to try and deny over the top. Alfia will have spotted the man behind, and somehow he's almost doing tricks on top of Xiao, and they quickly find a couple back in return. It's left all onto Ruxic. He managed to kick it off, but they're already beginning that defusal hidden in the corner. He needs to land the shot, and he won't be able to. That looked like a tough retake for Fnatic, but I'll be honest, in the end, they make it look kind of easy.
They do, yeah. It looked like a frag movie from Kayak's perspective. He was shooting bodies that had already been taken out by a teammate.
From Alpha as well. They went for the fly-through before getting the kill.
Around, yeah.
Oh, there we go, there's Xiao.
There he is,
Hello,
yeah.
Xiao.
1 second. There we go. No, really nice stuff from Fnatic, and I think for NAVI, you know, it's really heartbreaking. They kind of needed that 7-5. They want to be able to bounce back. We know, good half for both teams coming up, sure. But if Fnatic got this kind of playstyle locked down, they're coming in swinging like this. The Cash as well, 13-5. Say the same for Kayak. You know, I just can't see them slowing down in the same regard while NAVI are looking a little bit lost. Showstoppers landed out of a Viper's pit. Now an op strikes on the other side, and the advantages, well, they don't compound too much thanks to Ruxic. But where do you go now? No control of B main. Viper's pit is up in B. They look for the A site, and I can't believe Alfia is going to walk through the pit. He is right behind them. He missed them by a pixel, by a second or so. But with that pick onto Kayak, I mean, the thing is, if Alpha gets this strike onto Xiao, they're going to be stuck on site.
Oh, he's low on HP. Look at Xiao is looking completely the wrong way. You wouldn't expect anybody to be there that quickly. And because of it, the advantage swings back. Ruxic still with the tour de force available, but low on HP. We need to see something from Filu in this round. They still don't necessarily know where the other players are coming from. Immediate usage of util to clear that close angle, forcing Ruxic back down to just 2 HP. Filu needs to land the shot, and he gets nothing. It has to be a 2 HP ace, and they already know how low this man is. It will be 9-3. It will be a dominant defensive half coming out of Fnatic.
On Navi's map pick, yeah, things are off to a shaky start. But before we come back for the second half, let's hear from Crashies on why he thinks Vekaj is underrated.
So the new iteration of Fnatic, I think people are actually sleeping on Vekaj.
Fnatic looking for double digits in the pistol round, and look, individuals are showing up for them right now.
Xiao's looking for single digits.
Ooh. Yeah. You know, and it's not like he got unlucky in all those kills. Still a little bit of a silly, goofy performance from Xiao in that first half. But, you know, there's always time to recover, and no better time than right here and now. Defensive side for NAVI. Their map pick. To say that Fnatic are taking it slow is an understatement. They are currently sat back in positions that the barriers wouldn't even stop them from getting to. The most passive start to a pistol as they wait for NAVI to make a move, see nothing, send the decoy towards B, 2 sets of steps, third with the Yoru. And then they freeze again, and NAVI are sat back. I mean, at this point, you've got Ruxic just holding with the Headhunter on A, his trap holding Heaven. So there's no need to move. All of this control given by this one character means you've got 2 players B, you know, 2 mid if Sociable isn't running back to grab a bit of info. And he now has. And we're 40 seconds on the clock, and you know, Fnatic are basically in spawn. No rotates from NAVI.
Yeah, I feel like Sociable did well there to hold the flash as long as he did. I feel like that's why Fnatic were playing so deep, but instead, throwing that in, steps being made by Boaster on the other side of the map, and Sociable's just gone walking back into the vents. I don't know what's going on. Like, NAVI players today have just decided to I don't know, maybe twerk for opponents. Just go in backwards every time. Rooksic's done well, but they have, I swear, Booster made noise in the heavens. I guess they're just forgetting the spots that people have gone past. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he walked, but I could have sworn he made steps heaven on B.
What if Andy can chef up
I'm genuinely, I'm hoping I'm wrong. Because if he just walked it, fair enough, but also kind of not.
I mean, honestly, listen, on that stage, white noise in your ears, I'll even forgive missing a sound cue. But if you give up mid, and 20 seconds later, someone, you know, walks backwards, like Michael Jackson moonwalking into that angle, I can't forgive that. That's a very tough one to forgive. Big mistake being made there, and well, Hero, try as he might. This round is not going to him. Double digits landed for Fnatic and NAVI right now. I mean, they timeout. You know, hell, we're coming out of a pistol, but the amount of gaps that they just exposed on the defense. And
I thought he ran before this.
Thank you.
Just before, but yeah, he walked obviously from that point. But either way, yeah, shouldn't be possible because also, as you said, they just got caught from somebody being backstabbed him.
King of Turkey here. King
twice.
of Turkey,
in one round.
Yeah.
They literally not only shift walked vents on you, they also it's not like you could say, well, but if they went heaven, we would have got them. No, you wouldn't. You didn't. A crazy strategy.
Who needs mid? It's funny as well because Angel is the guy who plays mid more than anyone else. So it's kind of mad.
That's so true.
Like, well, you saw his reaction.
His whole identity is based around mid
you
control.
saw him leaning back on the
and
chair.
his team gave up both sides of mid and just pretended it didn't happen. Yeah, sometimes it's hard not to laugh. And this is one of those times, I'll tell you that.
You laugh or cry. Like, I've learned from Geis this year. You either, either you get really annoyed,
stress, brother. Just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride. And NAVI, they're taking us on a ride right now. I'll tell you that. And this is a low buy round, not one we expect much of them in. And 11-3, I mean, you can already start to put the numbers together. He's on the board! Congratulations,
let's just watch out for the rest of the round.
Let's shout POV. Here we go. This could be his big round.
We can say Pi is on.
Oh,
the 3-1-4.
Pi watch is on.
The 3-1-4.
Is it? But is he 1?
He's 1 of 13.
Okay. There's room. There's a real possibility, and actually already, okay, let's be serious about this. There's damage coming in. It's a 3v3.
Spike planted.
And this is where Fnatic could take their foot off the gas. They could let NAVI back in. Nice shot by Kayak. And that starts to put a bit more confidence into the Fnatic side. Hero up top, Classic in hand, 64 HP in a 1v3. I think it's safe to say he's not getting away with much. And so 11 on the board for Fnatic.
Toxins going up.
I mean, if he gets it, yeah. If he got a ninja there, it would have been crazy. But yeah, 11-3, and for NAVI at the moment, oh, there's not a lot of hope. There really isn't. Like, this being their map pick, this also being a map that coming in, you highlighted before we start that this could have easily been a middle ground, that there's been good results for people. Because, Tom, you know what I'll say? You're a new IGL. You've got a map, if, for example, they hadn't played this, a map that you haven't played that much. You picked it, so it's still kind of hard to defend. But if you come in and show those kind of gaps that they did initially, I'll say, okay, this is just breathing room. We need to get used to it. We need to grow. But when you've already played it, you picked it, and then you make those mistakes in round 1 of the half.
Well, Althea has already rinsed Sociable. We spoke about some of the closer games that Fnatic have played, the loss that they took, and the need to warm up.
Spike planted.
Looking pretty warm. Looking maybe a bit too warm. Maybe cool down a bit, guys. Maybe save some of it for the later matches, because...
Think of the fans.
Yeah, you know. People want to see this version a little bit later on. People want to see you play all the best of 5. Well, that's not possible anymore. They want to see you play 2 of the best of 5s, but right now, they are cooking. Never mind. The comeback. Filu. That's what we wanted to see on the retake. They managed to make it work, and with the way they entered into that site, with Sociable getting domed immediately, I was thinking we might just be speed running to the finish, but they did well there.
It has felt like that. Well, hold on. Let's see if they can chain around together as well, but yeah, especially Alpha being able to dive in. You've got 2 duelists there. You only need the 1. A clean opening, but from that point, and this is something that I wanted to talk about coming into today before this game became a bit of a fiesta. The reality is that, you know, when you look at this roster, when you look at some of the performances that have been there over the last couple of games, Filu has left us wanting more at times. And I think going back to last year, you can say the same thing. But he has shown a higher ceiling than I think we've seen. And at moments, at times, there's sparks. And I'm excited to see how he can grow into this roster. That round there from him, perhaps a confidence builder. And for NAVI, genuinely setting the goalposts that you've probably lost this map. It's a long way back. But every single round you get is a reminder that the first half was just a blip on the radar.
Yeah, for sure. I think especially going into Breeze, the good thing they have is that Fnatic don't have any data, don't have anything they can look at because you haven't played it yet. And, wow, I think the last time they will have played it, the roster probably looked quite different.
The meta certainly did.
But already getting the opener. This is also the half where you kind of expect Ruxic to have his impact. Being able to have that defensive side operator, aggressive positioning being taken, a lurk left in Vakash to try and catch any rotators, but Fnatic always happy to sort of run that clock down a little bit low, start to play with the minds of the opponent. The fact that I'm currently watching Hero watch the spawn kind of says everything you need to know about how things have gone so far.
And even then, you saw Ruxic, he's watching it as well, because he's worried that they've already slipped past
30 seconds left.
the effects of the pistol round, I imagine, at play in front of us. And with the man advantage, the last thing you want is to let them mosey on up behind you. I like this containment from NAVI. There's not too much of a risk. It's hard for Fnatic to punish players, except for the fact that one is down so close. 12 seconds back. It's Kayak's chance. The Kansas has one already, but with Kayak down the site, still has to be claimed. A shot from Ruxic. 4 seconds. Plant coming in. They've got time, but Ruxic just needs to interrupt that, and it's Filu from the top rope to take Crashies down. Nicely done by NAVI, and that looked night and day to the rounds we've seen so far.
Yeah, again, I want to give credit to Sociable for how late he held onto the flash. Like, he's been doing that quite a lot. We know that Fnatic like to play slow. We know that a lot of the time you're going to have these very, very late hits. So holding the flash to check if there's still someone within the site meant that they could just sit back site, just sit and wait for them to make a mistake, and it allowed Ruxic to stay alive an awful long time. Of course, you trust that he will hit the shots when the time matters, but this has always been the major criticism we've had of these Fnatic attack sides is sometimes they do just leave that clock way too late.
Well, pistols in hand, 5 players outside A, but they're taking their time. They're waiting. Did that see anyone? I mean, obviously it got broken, so one player further back, but with so many in the corners, looked like they'd managed to sell a bit of a ruse. The problem here is that as they go back, NAVI have already started putting numbers towards middle. Fnatic, though, back to mid, back to A, trying to take advantage of the lack of players, but that flash has caught them. Now the info's there. Ruxic won't be moving, and a clean shot with an easy escape.
Yeah, he's so difficult to deal with, but having Sociable as his backup is definitely helping. Second flash through as well, knowing there's still players there. Vakash has managed to win the fight in mid, though. However, anything more is going to be difficult. The trap slows the remaining players of Fnatic to a halt. Boaster going back into middle, and he has managed to retrieve a rifle at least. That was the kill that Vakash got moments ago, but Sociable is looking around. It's awkward, but he's dropped that gun back to the floor, leaving Crashies alone versus Ruxic, and well, that wasn't a fair fight at all. 11-6, NAVI starting to climb back into this one a little. Come on, Fnatic are going to take themselves a pause.
Yeah, good to see that you're already putting that pressure on your opponents. Remember, this is the first time we're seeing NAVI not just chain one round together, as in 2, right? Chain one round would be kind of hard. But you got that third now on the back of it, momentum really swapping over into their favor, which the most important thing for me is that we're seeing the discipline. We're not seeing those overpeaks anymore. We're not seeing massive gaps being left on the defensive side. Like, it genuinely just looks like NAVI started playing the game. As before, they were so
definitely looking like a fantastic pickup right now. But the question is just how far can they go with it? After the extended break, the tac pause into tech break, we will see if this is the continuation of the comeback for NAVI, or if Fnatic are going to put an end to this a little quicker.
Well, the ulti economy is really starting to heat up coming into this round. An orb or two in either direction. With a lot more tools to work with. Whichever side can manage to steal that away. Now Ruxic not going to overstay his welcome on that angle. Oh, actually, he is. He goes back in. I thought he was going to back off to A.
Again.
And they'd steal some info, but instead, he sticks on that A main angle. You then get the... So they know no one's there. The flash goes out over towards B. You know there's players there. I mean, this is a great early round for Navi in terms of the map control they're holding. And now they focus on a mid-fight, spotting that it's clear. This is wonderful. I mean, they put all the pieces together. They should be ready for this B hit.
Yeah. Straight in, though. Double ult. Backside, well, it's definitely going to be Cheng now. The spam bullets not quite doing enough. A lot of damage done, but Filu's able to trade one back. Both of the players within the site. Oh no! But Sociable, I don't even know what happened. He's just murdered everybody in front of his teammates' eyes. And well, Vekaj is probably just wondering what on earth happened. Where did everybody go?
Oh, wonderful work. That looked like it was 2 bullets, 3 kills for Sociable. One of them was certainly a collateral. I can't wait to see this one in the replay. And for Navi, what a round as well. They start a main control, flash in B, see players there, flash out mid for a fight, no one there. You're ready for this hit. And sure, they even lose the opening. Shout going down. The showstopper, not much you can do about. But that right there,
Right.
the nade
Beautiful
thrown in
replay.
did nothing in the end. Couldn't even explode as a whole squad was taken down.
I've got some sad news, by the way. The pie's off.
The pie,
He's
yeah,
now
it's not gonna
he's
happen.
now 1 in 15.
If it wasn't for that damn showstopper.
Yeah, he would have got
2K.
2 kills, and then we could have seen pie.
Nice screenshot. Well,
I don't think I mind too much.
this is a creepy play by Kayak, and he spotted it. Okay, they had vision, thankfully.
I genuinely think this might be one of the most irritating skies I've ever seen in my life. Like, the amount of info that they are getting, and the timing, like, it's like he knows. Like, Sociable's flashes always go in just as they take the space. Like, it's not like he's just throwing them in at the beginning of every round, or like, even at the same timing. It just seems like he's waiting until a moment where he goes, okay, we don't have info there, I'm gonna use it. And it was the same in the last round, catching everybody outside B, then doing the work himself. Oh, okay, that's not pretty.
No, anything but. Especially a risk like that, you're up against pistols, you push mid, and now the weapon's
He's only
recovered.
given a Vandal over to Alpha yet. Like, what
good.
could go wrong?
Oh, at least, I mean, unless Alpha drops that to someone else, there shouldn't be any danger here. Let's see if that ends up being the real story of the game. The wall going down gives Ruxic the angle, and already Alpha's going to be dropped, but Kayak managed to slip through and make it to the site. Sociable catches Crashies, and a good flash up top, but Vekaj there to bail them out. He'll be caught in the open though, leaving it onto an 8 HP Kayak, and not a snowball's chance in hell. This comeback from Navi, a team that honestly didn't look like they were playing the game in that first half. This is to be studied. 11-8. Fnatic close to getting a taste of their own medicine. Again.
Yeah, no, this defensive half really is looking stellar. And even with like some really, we didn't need to slow it down that much, but the aggro positions, I think as well, Sociable just being in that back line and then the rotation back in from the remaining 2 at the end. 5 rounds in a row. Oh, Angel's starting to believe. You can see it. That damn smile. Please don't make that meme.
Well, 3 rounds in between them. It won't be me. I'll tell you that. Navi
Why are you taking your phone out?
climbing back in.
Meme maker.
Save as copy. Perfect. It's an aggressive stance. I like this one, though, more than I like Filu out in the open against pistols.
Wait, you have more faith in Ruxic hitting the shot with the tour de force
Even
than
if
you
he
do with
misses the
Ruxic.
shot, it's more that he can get out of there.
Oh, he did miss.
He misses, but he gets out. No punish for Fnatic
That's
there.
the 1 in 100. Boaster's very lucky to be alive. Ruxic doesn't miss often.
But Navi will get to set up with that same danger just a little bit later. That tour de force is going to be a constant threat in this round. At least for now, though, Kayak should be getting some
Have
free
you
space
not
for the
noticed that
squad.
Odin?
I hadn't.
I was about to say, Crashy says earlier about the Odin. Well, it's going to be Alpha here to feel death at the hands of Sociable. A very different look to the man that was throwing pop flashes a moment ago. And Shao, there we go. It's 3.15 instead. Not quite Pi, but at least seeing a little bit of a comeback until Crashies drops him and Ruxic. Now this starts to get a little bit dangerous.
30 seconds left.
Be Boaster to do something about this. They've still got the Cosmic
Oh,
Divide, but
Crashies.
it's
See
not
you
the moment
later.
to do it. Sociable wants this. The 3K from the Odin is calling him the Blast X on the site, boots on the ground, and a big swing from the whole squad. Boaster! Oh, it was so close! Filu in the end somehow has to save the day. You got me excited for a second there, Boaster. Oh my goodness. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
When I saw Filu peak, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Especially with the amount of time that was left. It was risky, but necessary trade. Oh, look at this. Right at the last, I think there's 10 seconds left. Angel's reactions are genuinely my favorite. The eyes tell you everything you need to know about the round. 2 now the difference.
How have we ended up here?
I don't know.
Really and truly how. Fnatic slowing down, and we saw this in the series that sent them here, Tom. The fact that the team that we know for the comebacks for starting slow and always managing to keep themselves in it while they faced the comeback earlier on.
Yeah, that's BBL, right?
It was indeed.
Oh, he's back.
And it could be
back.
happening again. An opening duel for NAVI.
Oh.
Although Crashies gets a bit
yeah,
closer
no
than
way.
expected. Hero is always watching, and that's the spike down in their possession. Should be no real dangers here. They've lost the B site, but okay, 1 for Alpha. They don't know where Vikaj is. Yeah, okay, now they do. Headshot and another connection. Yet still Ruxic
Gun here.
lives to tell the tale.
Yeah, and he's still healthier of the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Just pettiness. He's thrown the operator out of the map so they can't go and retrieve it. Okay, nice shots from Vikaj. Maybe there is a little bit to this. Alpha in a 1v2, 30 seconds. Yeah, they're going to know
30 seconds left.
roughly where he is. Oh, he's definitely going to know where he is now. But this crossfire should be one that's difficult to break down. Maybe he has a chance versus Filu, but he should be tucked into the angle, just waiting for the swing onto Hero. The second that swing comes through, it's even expected. But getting anything more is going to be difficult. Filu takes the fight and brings them to 10. Double digits, not something I ever expected to be saying for NAVI, but they're now 1 behind.
Yeah, I mean, I could have seen it maybe on Breeze if they had a remarkable map, but the fact is we're getting a second timeout from Fnatic. I mean, this squad was so far in the lead.
You get him, Alpha.
The fact that they were, well, it was 11-3, right? That feels surreal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
11-3, thank you, Tom. I feel like there was an easier way to do that if just counting the bottom ones, but
Nah,
because I don't think they moved from 11. They did it so quickly.
yeah, a few big rounds, a few hero plays. Everybody seems to have locked in.
Focus now. Eyes off me.
Wow, we always said, if you get Ruxic, Sociable, and Hero firing, this team is dangerous. And in this second half, that is exactly what we've got. Sprinkle in a little bit of Filu, and
Toxin screen down.
this is now a very contentious and interesting map. We questioned the choice initially from NAVI. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, you've picked a map that's been very good for Fnatic as well. Maybe you could have left it as a 3rd. They take the dub. I don't think they're really going to care how they got there. If anything, it might give them a boost.
Blocking vision.
The Viper's Pit from NAVI will contain that mid presence. Alpha's going walkabouts. This is risky. It could be a double swing coming in, and Xiao is drawing Alpha's. Oh, nice shot, though. What a correction. But the double swing, it's too much. Xiao lands that shot. And the trade out now for Fnatic will send them towards the A site where they'll look for the space. The problem is what's waiting there. They have got the wall to cross at least, but Ruxic's given a chance here.
Yeah, Gate Crash was on the other side of the map. And when Kayak had the spike, I was thinking maybe they were going to switch it up, because I'm looking at the late lurk coming through from Vikaj, but they didn't. 25 seconds, and they're going to try and make the run all the way back. But that's the bit I don't understand, is you might as well have left him with the spike.
Let him TP with it, yeah.
You are divided.
I guess just because he was pushing that bit forward up ramp, making noise. And look at
No one's there,
the
though.
success. Yeah, 4 players towards 3 on A, 1 in
10
mid.
seconds left.
Pit's about to fall, and you can get not only a lot of control deep in towards their spawn up into heaven, but that Viper's Pit. Now, rooting you out of this, that's going to be damn difficult for NAVI. We said that the comeback needed to be next to flawless. They could lose 1 round and keep themselves in it. Well, this very well may be the round.
Yeah. Still, they got plenty of time. The spam's not far away from catching Crashies, and well, he's already gone. Ruxic done well to clear. But it's the Viper that's going to be the tougher of the two, the one that they need to remove, and Kayak is acting as a bodyguard. Boaster, well, it will be that Viper now dropped, but even still, Hero's just looking to try and clear him out of the backlines, and doing that won't be easy. And even once you've done it, we're going to split into the 1v1, but the round is already done. It is Fnatic to take it. A brilliant call, a late fake that fooled NAVI, and that was enough to get them the round.
Yeah, you said about Fnatic, they always play slow. They always run that clock down. This time it works out.
Slow.
They got in, I think 22 seconds, they started wrapping back from A. They get in with a couple left to spare, pit up. And again, look at how this ended. A 1v2, players spread far, running the clock, and the one in main had a star to work with. So you would have had a grab while buying even more time. It just took them too much time to rotate, clearing all that space in mid, clearing all that space in spawn, and then clearing out the pit. It's a lot to do, and it was just too much. Now Fnatic, 2 chances to close this out, but all NAVI need to do.
Kayak is lucky to be alive.
Just need to bounce back from that previous. I love this from Ruxic, keeping the confidence in play. Xiao's holding deep B main control. Nothing on A. Look how passive Sociable is there. But it's that mid control that could give NAVI a leg up.
Oh yeah, you can see them feeling out the map. Arbosa's walked into this angle before and survived by a hair's width. You'd expect that something's going to have to go through to clear this. Now, they've already used 1 Prowler. Is he really going to jiggle this again? I wouldn't bet on... So there you go. That's exactly what I was expecting. Forcing him back with utility. Even still, 45 seconds left on the clock, and they're only just making their move. This time, Xiao, I dare say, will not be moving from this B main position. Just making sure they have the information, and with how much middle control is still currently on the board for them, they could quite easily have a couple of players here in a matter of seconds.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds, they're still in spawn. Noise being made by Vakash. And it has kept players in this position. It's even pulled them back from mid. That fight on mid that would have went to Ruxic, would have at least had a challenge. Instead, he might be late to the party. No, he catches Boaster on the cross, and Kayak as well. NAVI, they are still drawing breath deep into this game. Xiao falling, though, could give the plant away. It could give Fnatic a fighting ground. The nade late, it will do damage. It might even take him down. Oh, barely surviving. Alpha, he's got himself a showstopper. They could end it here and now. Fnatic have been slow to start. They're 11-3 up, but this half, it's been nothing but defeat. And in the final hour, they have stepped up. NAVI hit double digits, but Fnatic reached 13.
Yeah, it was an incredibly long road back into the map, and I'll be honest with you, it started to believe that they were actually going to turn it around, but a great call the round prior and some brilliance from Alpha to get them into the site was enough to take the map choice.
France last year across his VCL France and VCT career. So again, maybe he just has that hunger of put me on Jet, let me show you what I can do.
It's not the doubt that he can't play it, it's the doubt that he can play it better than Alfie.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I doubt that of most people. Maybe other than LaRock.
There are big boots to fill. Fnatic, attack sign start. Hero has embedded himself in elbow, and they do not know. Not an eye cast in his direction. And a double tap looking for more as Alpha falls. And Hero eventually removed from the realm, but his impact, oh, it's not going anywhere. Fnatic, 2 men behind and no ground really to speak of. Traded out for those losses.
Yeah, this one's going to be a difficult fight back, an opportunity, but Sociable not going to overplay his hand. Especially when they've got Ruxic locked in on the other side of the map, although he's got walkabouts again, an opportunity, but the shot's just not connecting for either of Brashies. 35 seconds up and coming on the clock, a full retreat, giving time for Crashies, and there you go. There you go, got there in the end. A few extra shots towards Sociable, and Ruxic now under pressure, a chance to turn this back into a 2v2 if they can isolate this man. And that is a big if.
That's a problem. NAVI are closing in like a net. Rooksick with a
Spike down
phenomenal
A.
shot. And a second to add to the tally. Nicely done. NAVI find themselves the pistol under their belt, and a great start from Hero. That push up into elbow played to perfection. Really nice.
Yeah, fantastic start to the round. And this is the duo we talked about with NAVI. This Rooksick and Hero duo has become one of the best we have in EMEA. Yeah, as you can see, that was quite a while ago.
Move.
643 days.
Where were you 643 days ago, Tom?
Probably commentating Valorant.
Probably commentating that match. Oh, well, Fnatic not looking likely to take this one. All down to the pistols. Maybe a bit of a map exploration from them.
Judge. Felt like
yeah, Kayak almost got a kill somehow. That's a decent bit of damage done, but no weapons on the floor for NAVI just yet.
Mid.
And even if there was one, as long as Xiao's close enough by to pick it up, although he is on the B side, the potential for some damage. Oh, that potential's gone. Very nice stuff. NAVI with an in-zone flawless here in round number 2. And in the next one, the game really begins. Rifles out for Fnatic. The thing is, though, with so many people surviving, Tom, NAVI you're going to have no issue in terms of investments.
yeah, I think genuinely the thing that most excites me going in is how Sociable's going to be on that defensive sniper. I think that he is incredible at this sort of role. It's one of the sort of almost extra pressures that are put onto someone like Filu when you kind of look at Sociable and go, if I put him on Filu's roles, does he do a better job? Because at times this guy has just popped off when given the sniper rifle, when given the opportunity to be aggressive, and that's exactly why you have him on this agent. A swap up of weaponry finds Xiao left with the Judge and Filu given the rifle, and while Rooksick playing at the back of the bees. It is not great.
It's hard to watch, like, divert your eyes. Oh, goodness. Boaster gets there in the end. A very valuable pick for Fnatic. Remember, this is a round they come into with advantages stacked up in their favor. NAVI have so many weaknesses, and despite damage onto Filu, they're still in a 4 versus 3. And Fnatic are completely spread out. The other problem is that they got the info on a player close on A, playing on that corner on the left, not the one that Xiao is on. The drone didn't see him. And the Judge sitting in that corner now strikes the element of surprise.
There we go.
By his side as Filu gets the double. NAVI find a 3-0 start. Oh, Fnatic's map pick not looking quite as good, at least in the opening rounds.
No, to win your bonus, especially when you had some gaps. But this is sort of the difference. I feel like although having Rooksick in slightly more aggressive roles, you put him on a Viper, you have his utility around him, and he just plays as confidently, still takes those same risks, but you're just a lot less likely to have that level of expectation. The fact that both of those early fights are going in the direction of that deadly duo, not a great sign for Fnatic, of course. This was the half versus BBL that they severely struggled on. That attack side was, what, 2-10 after a 9-3 defensive half.
Cutting through.
Ended up losing the map because of it. This time they have at least started off with a pick onto Sociable. But it's the rest of the players that have the rifles, and in fact, there's already a pincer coming in onto mid.
Poison's off.
Oh, careful.
Well, the spike's still inside main, but they're looking for that fight. Drawing eyes, Rooksick down means they're rotating in, crossing by this angle that Xiao's currently on, where Boaster lurks and waits. Shot landing from afar puts him to a sliver of health. And that should be an easy cleanup for Boaster. Filu, the last man standing, he's been detected, he's been heard, and the rifle's being recovered across the board. This is far from an easy recovery on the round. 2, 3, now under his belt, but the ace will be denied in its early stages. 3-1 on the board. Somehow this is the round that Fnatic fight back into.
Of course it is. Yeah, just able to win some of those early fights. I think getting rid of Sociable immediately left a pretty big gap, and then just being able to swarm onto the players on this side of the map. I think the Marshal also got multiple tags out from Vekaj, so maybe a part of their attack side is going to involve him having that jet operator. Maybe that's the same on the defense as well. Freeing up Kayak to be a little bit more aggressive. I am intrigued as to the reasoning, but now at least very aggressive early start out from Filu, and it's a 1-for-1 trade.
I got the spike.
Do they keep pushing on that, though? I mean, look at the position Rooksik's gone for. You've got Social posted.
Not a good
operator
spot to be
in,
in, though, is it? Like, fighting that window is not a great spot.
I think he was just going there for a moment because the angle's being held by Sociable. So he clears that. If someone's in the window, they should peek soon. They don't, so he goes back. But now Sociable's the one that has to hold that control. He's already sent his decoy out and it was broken. Now he goes walking forward. They don't expect that.
Spike
Why would
down
they?
mid.
Frankly, foolish move a lot of the time from Sociable, but that's exactly why it works.
Yeah, we saw it in the last map with the Sky Flashes. He's very good with timing, and you see it again. The perfect moment to re-peek, looking for a little bit more. Okay, that was greedy.
All right.
That was greedy. Bit off more than he can chew.
Not sure about that one.
Although, there is a world he hits that shot.
It looked close.
It was very, very close. Boaster now with an operator. Oh, we've seen this man do this many a time. A rotation already in from Rooksik, but he is somewhat isolated. Doesn't want to give the game away. Doesn't want to give that 2v2 over to Fnatic. And is waiting for support.
Nice shot by Boaster. Okay, back to even footing. A smoke up. Oh, another player spotted as well. Valuable information. It's only Rooksik who's unknown, but he's wrapping around. With Alpha finding that shot though, 1v1 after the pick. Rooksik's position now revealed. Alpha, yeah, ready and waiting for the jump up. And an execution that awaited Rooksik puts Fnatic up to 2. Catching back up now. It was a thrifty round, followed by this. They're just 1 away.
Hey, that one's got to be a little bit more frustrating. You get these early advantages. I think Sociable definitely was a bit too greedy. It is the reason you put him on this role, is because you want him to get aggressive, you want him to take space, but then a lovely shot hit by Boaster on that operator.
It's not me here! Who are you picking again?
The difference as well in warm-ups from those teams, honestly, like Navi were sat down there locked in, tech check and making sure everything's working. Fnatic, I think they went through like the Spotify top 100. They were singing away. Well, I was scribbling away up here earlier on, and the vibes always immaculate on that side of the stage, regardless of the score. For now, it's serving them well. Climbing back into this game. 1 away from Navi, and an opening pick with Sociable punished on that mid-aggression. It's Navi that are left with really the ball in their court to make a move. They don't have info. They're cleared mid now. There's no one there. But luckily for them, there are 3 players. 2 are in mid, so they're super close to this B hit. A lot more presence from the defense should be here than expected.
Hunter's Fury being used. Very aggressive position already, but Vekaj is going to be taken out by Filu. A good flash to make that a little bit easier, and Hero caught on the cross. Leave Xiao alone. 1 versus 4. I don't think there's any reason or rhyme to attempt this.
Gun here.
Especially with economy so poor for NAVI at this stage. Much more direct approach from Fnatic. And these are the sort of rounds that I feel like I enjoy. Like, you have these slow, almost captivating rounds for Fnatic that can cause them issues at times. But when they throw that spanner in, the faster paced round, a lot of teams get caught off guard. And well, with the Hunter's Fury to clear out Rooksik, that B site looks a lot friendlier.
Yeah, you know, for Navi, the thing that's surprising is the fact that there were 3 players so close by to this B site. Like, you had 2 that were just re-clearing the window as the first wall went up, and as the utility came through. Filu makes it to backside. Filu as well. It was on a bit of a tear of the game. And I think Hero was there as well. The Hunter's Fury of his own sent into this round as a response. They weren't able to get anything from it. And this is the problem, like thinking about that execute, about Fnatic playing a faster round, well, it doesn't get much better than having 3 players ready to greet them. And yet, all that resulted in was, yeah, there were more defenders there, but there were more bodies when the exec was done. Fnatic still finding favor. Now looking for the lead. Navi on a very patchy buy. That's the only rifle they have.
Yeah, shot connected by Ruxic, though, is almost going to force them back into position. Xiao's aggression punished immediately, and the net being thrown out by Fnatic has done well to sort of stop a lot of what this defensive side wants to do. Like, you've got yourself a Neon Yoru. The expectation is you're going to have aggression. You're going to consistently try and push and pressure the map, and I think in some of the earlier rounds, Fnatic fell victim to that.
Deploying drone.
But as they go along, they've been better and better and catching some of these riskier positions, forcing players out. Thing is, the rotation, as you said, is coming because of that delay, and Sociable already one down and a second as well.
Yeah, Filu's the guy to get the second kill. That was your B player, by the way. They've now rotated in for the double kill. But space taken back elsewhere. You know, this shouldn't be a round that comes this close either way. There's now weapons recovered for Navi. They came in with weaknesses, but a stack towards A and a Neon rotate on the other side. And basically, the entire squad was here. Now, you kind of expect the Viper's Pit to go down on B if you're Navi. You think that Alpha's probably close. You saw the orb go on Crashies. Both site is the most likely scenario, but a missed shot. That's it. Oh, now the advantage gone. They needed to at least take this to a 2v3. Navi can just run the numbers game.
Crashies, they know roughly where Alpha's going to be coming from, and he's already going to be cleared out by Ruxic. It leaves just one standing. Well, it's a bit more labored than he would have hoped for. A big round out from Na'Vi, the gamble rotation early that caught Fnatic off guard. And that's it. In the early stages of the round, they did really well to sort of clear all of these aggressive dangers, but just some wonderful shots hit by Sociable. I think he got an insta-kill, and then it was well, this, I think one of the players was like 1 HP that Filu ended up killing, but very good round from him, and then Filu stepping up with a rifle as well, which just said, this is kind of what we wanted to see from this guy. 12-3 right now.
It was the only rifle they had, bit of a risky early stance pushing up B main, but again, the fact that the only rifle they had was on B, everyone else was A, and when the exec came in, because of a delay from Snakebite, when the exec came in, the second and third kills went to the B site player, who had sprinted all the way back around. Again, the benefits of having your Neon alongside your Yoru, you have not the only benefits, not even the main benefits, but faster rotations on the defensive side. And here, that translates to a round win for Na'Vi, and the lead staying in their favor, or rather going back to it after the tie-up earlier on. Now the B side under threat. Cosmic Divide in, dash in as well from Vikajan. And that backside hold from Ruxic doesn't last very long. Crumbling across the board are Na'Vi.
Yeah, really nice execute. One of the sort of the things you've almost felt was a necessity was Ruxic being able to hold the line on this B site. We've seen it a lot with Vipers in any iteration of this map.
Yep.
It can be a very lonely. Oh, okay. Okay, that was nice. That was nice. I'll give him that.
My favorite thing I've ever seen Filu do. Please survive this now.
He's 9-3. You know, he's having a good game.
I really want this to be like that kill's so much cooler if he survives this, because then they've actually translated to an op. Hit it, hit it. Yeah. No. Calm down.
Oh, he's going for more. He's going for more. Why not? No.
Okay, why not? This is why. Run for your life. Okay, crazy round from Filu on the exits there. That's definitely piqued my interest, but for Fnatic, a round win still secured. And again, we're back to equal footing, 4-4. The early lead from Na'Vi. They're not happy to see it slip away twice, so a timeout is going to be called.
Yeah. 4-4. The thing is, I look at this half, and I look at, obviously, Fnatic. They really struggled when it came to the attack, but it is a different looking comp. You brought in that jet to try and help things out, but the reality of it so far is that Filu has been on a tear. And that was the main criticism. When this roster was built, obviously we didn't know how Xiao was going to be as an IGL. We knew the sort of 3 Turkish players. We knew.
So I think the reality is, you know, looking at this situation for Na'Vi, Filu has been underperforming. Last week was awful. And this bounce back was the reason that there is a heartbeat to the matchup. But Navi still losing that lead for the second time, but Fnatic yet to gain it. This could be where that all changes, though.
Who's next?
Sociable genuinely never changes. So aggressive, but not been forced off this time. Viper's Pit to the back of site. A lot of pressure being put on. Sociable has been able to find Althea. a big early pick. The Viper's pit on the other side, gone out of the round, and finding this Viper's going to be so important. There was an opportunity for Vakash, but that opportunity has faded. And with the spike still able to go the other way, I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Can Kayak get out of here, though? His gate crash is fading, and it is gone.
Yeah, he wants to take this fight. They know they got rid of the drone thanks to Crash. He's spamming Hero as he popped that out, but the swing from Kayak into Filu. I tell you what, before today, I know who my money would be on in that fight, but Filu right now, he is on fire. And Fnatic, again, it seems, have been stopped right as they were about to reach their goal. The lead evades Fnatic yet again in this first half with NAVI. I mean, it seems like stealing it back unless we're going to have another very late round play from Fnatic. I think they're just saving their weapons.
Yeah, maybe if they knew how open A was, they might give it a go, but I don't think they're willing to just risk the additional rifles. Crash is a little bit low on credit, so it makes sense. But I like the idea. Obviously, after a pause, after your opponents have had the expectation that you're going to have these slower rounds, you're going to have patience, they just run it in for that aggressive B execute once again. And there were moments where they weren't far away. I thought the Vakash was going to be able to find Ruxic. Obviously, we have a slightly clearer vision than he does. But it is this man. I feel like Sociable has been very hit and miss, but the rounds where he's managed to find them openers, it's just been so irritating. And it was so close to that pit dropping and it being a nightmare for Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, they just couldn't get the pit gone. The fact that Ruxic survives, the fact he wins the fight inside of it as well, it's all that they needed. A 5-4 scoreline for Na'Vi. A great start to their defensive side. They've declined Fnatic's comeback into this. Their ascent to leadership status, and with a couple more rounds to play for, victory in the half still very much possible. Now for Fnatic, an op in the hands of Kayak is searching for picks in middle, but he's not going to get offered the kind of fights he's looking for. Na'Vi are aggressive, sure, they've pushed him in A main, they've got Sociable in the spot that we're seeing him in right now.
Nowhere to run!
But he can always get out. And for, oh, well, hold on. Hero almost getting taken out. I was going to say that's a problem for Fnatic, is that there's not any picks really available to them without just heads-up fights. That was very nearly won, but Hero's still alive on 70.
Oh, my. He's really feeling it right now. An opener onto Boaster. Smoke's dissipated. 45 seconds left, and they're walking into what is still a fairly stacked up side. A nice shot from Kayak, though. That's Sociable gone. Still 2 remain. Xiao trying to move over to the back of the site, has the support of Ruxic, and Ruxic's done well. Vakash walking with knife out, not expecting a second player to be here. In fact, though, the attack are going to try and double back, but they're going into the man at the moment, almost lines them up, and just looks to get out of there. Alpha with 20 seconds, he needs to just run it straight towards Filu, who's holding the angle, even trying to bait the shot, but Filu does not miss. A different man this week, as he has got another triple, and I believe that's now, is it 18 kills? Yeah, 18 and 3.
What an insane performance. The fact that this is a 6-4 scoreline, by the way, is ridiculous when he's putting up these kind of numbers. Looking good with the op as well. So many shots have landed for him in the past couple of rounds, but 18, and it might be one of the best starts to a map we've seen. And for it to be Filu again, considering, not from him though, I mean just generally here at Kickoff. And the reality is, Filu has been awful so far. So this is a much needed confidence boost.
I would say last week.
Man.
Other than that, he was average.
Yeah, he was all right.
Okay. Once again, Sociable's gone. We've heard the rumors of Scrim Filu. Potential Filu. And I think we're finally getting to witness it. This time, though, Boaster will shut him down. Xiao low, but still holding on to life, clinging to the site. Shot darts flying past that eventually Althea will clear him. It's the low buy rounds where Fnatic have seemingly been able to do far more than they should. And now the other star operator player on the other side, Boaster, with a chance. Crashies finds a rifle. The Brashies duo didn't make it to the top of the tower in Mini's ratings, but we'll see if they can do it this time. They're just about surviving still. Holding on to life. Boaster going back for a little more. This time he lands a shot, but the trade is there. And it's going to be the Sovas facing off the doppelgangers against each other with only one standing in the end. They're wrapping around each other, and Hero's got the time against him, but he'll still land the immediate headshot. Time a little bit low, but there should be enough of it for the defuse.
I guess that's a little bit of karma for Crashies. I mean, he had some crazy clutches in the previous map. It had to go the other way eventually. But 5 HP being the margin for Navi. The climb back continuing, a 3-round lead. And it started out so nicely, you know, for Vikash, who's had a very tough start to get in there, find a pick, do some damage to Xiao as well. And with boots on the ground, players on site, that should have been all there was. Oh, Hero does so well in the end, finding 3 kills and pushing Navi to a guaranteed lead at the half. The question is by how much? 8-4 possible on a map that, especially with Navi losing their pick to start this, I didn't have a lot of faith in them coming into this. Certainly in the last map at 11-3, I didn't have a lot of faith in anything on Breeze.
Oh, we'll see about their attack side, I guess. Okay, Hero, okay! I guess if just spam the angle and they walk in, it gets easy. Nice work from Alpha here. Hero, well, you could tell. He's like, all right, this might be my round, but a fair bit of damage done. Doesn't want to overdo it. Hunter's Fury sent through. Boaster on a bit of an off angle, has managed to clear one, but just before the Cosmic Divide goes up, he falls and leaves just 2 standing. Viper's Pit for Alpha gives them some space, but also locks them in, and Hero has managed to take him out.
The shock didn't land at least. Alpha on the Viper. Well, it's a good thing he's not the Jet. Otherwise, he wouldn't have a chance at this clutch. On the site, orb up. He's going to cross out of the pit, looking to take this fight deep, but the AWP is holding. Feeler with the patience, paying off. An 8-4 scoreline at the half. What a wonderful performance from NAVI. They just need to keep up this momentum for half 2, and we may well have a 3rd map on our hands.
Yeah, really impressive stuff, especially out of Filu. And obviously, it's one of those games where he just is feeling it right now. But while we wait for the second half, here's Xiao breaking it down on Navi's roles for 2026.
The big comparison to last year that we have big flexibility, because Sosha is the guy who can take any role which is hard to perform, let's say, or you need a lot of experience. He's like easily willing to take them. Same as me. So we have like 3 insane shooters, insane grinders like Phil, Ruxik, and Hero. Their role just to be comfortable, and me and Soshi, our main goal is make them this comfortability on the high level, so they can.
96, that's genuinely madness. You asked earlier, like what I was doing 600 and something days ago, the last time they played Breeze. I have no idea what I was doing over 2,000 days ago, but I do know the Boaster was still the IGL of whatever team he was on at the time. Nonetheless, we are back in. A pistol fairly important for Fnatic on their map choice. I was maybe expecting them to pick the Abyss. There you go. Finally, a little bit of magic from the Vikash Jet. Not seen much from it so far. Kayak. Oh, hello. He's definitely spotted his opponent. That one didn't seem too difficult for him.
Spike down B.
No, it didn't seem too difficult for anybody on Fnatic there. An in-zone flawless, and I feel like the round barely even started for Navi. They got ready for the fights, and, well, they were already over. A pistol round for Fnatic here. I guess, Tom, in terms of their bounce back, because this is what we know Fnatic for. Starting slow, fighting back into a map. They're moving on to the defensive side now. They win the pistol as well. How confident are you in Navi closing out this map? I mean, obviously, I guess more so the question is how confident are you in Fnatic bouncing back into it?
I'm fairly confident. They looked very good on the defense last time. Obviously, I think they've switched to a comp that's more aggressive, like bringing in the Jet into the mix and also the Yoru for that little bit of like escapism, rather than having, I think it was the Sage in last time, which, okay,
yes,
that adds a lot of delay on the defense. Like you can have, the slows are still fantastic, like the wall can also section off angles, but I do think that this is where I think firstly Kayak can thrive a little more, get that operator in hand, get up in face, still teleport out of there, as he's doing right now. Thank you very much for the example. And also then, like, what we can see from Veka, just a similar thing on the other side of the map. So I think that they're still going to be deadly on the defensive side, and I think it would be foolish to get too far ahead of ourselves and say, like, oh, this is done.
Without a doubt, yeah. the beginning of the second half, and still, well, some promise. NAVI find a pick on backside. Numbers back to even. Still weaponry advantage for the defensive
Alpha's
side.
isolated.
Patience as well coming out of Crashies. Alpha holding his own. Crashies lands that flank control, and Filu and Hero now have to hold that back sight as the rifles descend. Alfier thirsty for blood, and well, perhaps that's quenched his thirst. A 6th on the board for Fnatic, and relatively cleanly done. The key thing being that Boaster's got a pistol to play with, so there really will be no losses.
Yeah, no real damage taken. I think it was only the Marshall that was gone, and I guess if they're not planning to keep into the next round anyway, there's no point just dropping it somewhere. But yeah, Alfia does well. I was a little bit nervous because the rest of the team was still fighting elsewhere as he was fully into the site, but I guess this is just a little bit of a boost for him to climb up the board. 12 and 9, halfway to that Viper's Pit. And I also think as well, like, you look at the current table, for Filu on the attack to replicate those numbers is almost impossible. Like, it would have to be the best game we've seen from him ever, but also one of the best games in the league. Like, you're now diving in first a lot of the time. Sure, in tandem with Sociable, but that doesn't make it an easy task. Whereas on the defense, he has an operator he's set up, he's fighting picks and then having utility to support him get out of there. So I want to see how that duo is going to work differently now they go onto the attack.
Yeah, I think if he had that same level of performance in this half, Alfier's kill record would be challenged in regulation. Alfier and Zeus's, and they both own it. Fnatic have Vikaj moving towards the doors. He's heard them though. He knows that they're en route, but this shot, oh, it proves to be easy to start with. Decoy catches him fully though, blinded up. He is dealt with. Kayak has managed to put a spanner in the works. Coming up behind them now, meaning that Sociable's essentially trapped in a corner. The team tries to flood out to help him. Nice connection by Xiao, trading headshots with the Bulldog from Boaster. The shot dart almost took him down, but NAVI not ready to relinquish control of the round just yet, as Sociable finds himself a triple. And I think back to that SOT we had, that little video from Xiao, he named everybody else except Sociable. He was like, they're all here for the aim, for the firepower. Well, Sociable might be challenging for that as well. I don't think he's just supporting.
He did start with him saying he could play anything though, right? I think he just named everyone else.
And he was like, the other three have got aim.
So if anything, I think it was the other way around. He was hyping up Sociable, went, oh wait, I have other teammates. I should talk about them too. I think he is right though in terms of Sociable's ability to just play anything. Like you stick this guy on a deadlock, and I think, didn't he drop like 39 kills in one of the maps last year? Like, the guy really is a jack of all trades and a master of most, which is a very rare thing to have, and Izioro has started off well. Of course, this is where we see the operator in hand, going to be in the hands of Vikaj, so as said, a little bit more freedom potentially for his teammate, and as his teammate dissipates back, he's managed to find that opening pick.
Mentioned as well, Vikaj having that tough first half. It was like 2-8, 2-9 at some point. It was really hard, but that is again what awaits Filu a lot of the time. They swap sides. Now that NAVI take that attack approach, Filu not posted on the angles. Instead, he'll be swinging into them for now at least, though. Posted on mid, waiting for Crashies to make a move, and he steps into the angle. Drops Crashies immediately. The element of surprise paying off tenfold as Kayak tries to, make his way up behind them. Thread the needle, and well, I thought he was getting more than just a one, but the numbers stay even. And for Fnatic, I expect them to wait to try to take the retake together, but Alpha can't help himself. Gets in there and puts the advantage firmly into Fnatic's court.
It's safe to say that he is feeling it right now, and well, a little bit ahead of the curve again. That's given Hero an opportunity. A Bulldog, and then, of course, an Operator. Not the ideal retake weapons, but they get faced by NAVI, and both NAVI players win their fights 10-6. Maybe a little bit over-aggressive in that retake from Fnatic, and then it all comes tumbling down.
Yeah, I mean, look at it two ways. On the first hand, the fact that Alpha played aggressive got them the advantage. It also gave it back. I mean, not gave the opponent the advantage, just gave it away back to 2v2. And I think that's, you know, it's one of those moments where I don't think it's even, you call a pause and you say, guys, got to play them together. Alpha was feeling it, and a lot of the time when he feels that extra peak, he ends up hitting it. But a good punish by NAVI. Double digits on the board, Fnatic on an eco, and map 3 very much on the horizon.
This is a tough round for the defense to get anything, especially with the patience of NAVI grouping up, leaving one lurker just in case there's a mid push. It does have to be a little bit careful. They are walking up on him. He's very well aware of the angles, though. Doesn't give anything up. In fact, even being surrounded, yeah, Sociable with the sniper's not going to miss that one. A very big advantage in this round, and well, not exactly the weapon you'd want to have for Boaster if you've just lost mid.
No, I don't think he's going to be taking that fight on range, but ratting in the corner is just perfect. Drone didn't see him, but he has been spotted by Sociable. And even with the damage done, converting that to a kill will be a tough task. Alpha here even used the Viper's Pit this round towards A main. That's now fallen. So for NAVI,
1v5 Bucky retake on B.
I mean, it's a big economic builder, but also the fact that, well, okay, there's a pick. Or not. Cool. I'm not quite sure how he's gotten away with that one, but yeah, for NAVI, big money maker round, but also removing an ult on the other side, a very valuable ult as well. Yeah, this is the home stretch for the attackers.
It's a great time for the end zone flawless to come in and put them in a position where they can have that little bit of a economic boost to fall back on. Oof. This is where the defense once again. Akash with the sniper. Kayak's Dimensional Drift online. I'm a little bit nervous. When you see the attack side on this map, especially with the Hunter's Fury, just makes those executions so much cleaner. Filu taking that space, knowing that that disruption is likely to come through for him in just a moment. And for Boaster, if they use that ult, there's going to be a tough hold. They're just walking out there. In fact, they just have faith in Filu to do the damage himself. Walked out. Boaster's already been spotted. Now he's completely surrounded. Nowhere left to go. And I was thinking, okay, Hunter's Fury. It's going to be great for the take. Well, it's even better in post.
I think they actually almost baited out because they have it, because they took such a fast early approach. I was waiting to hear the sound cue called, because as soon as you get into doors, you're like, okay, ult is going to come through, and obviously you can clear out this space for your guy coming through doors, this space for the guys coming out through main. It's huge. And actually you see Fnatic back off. You see them set up their gate crashes to fall back. You see them not take those early fights, waiting for that point of initiation. And the point of initiation wasn't an ultimate. It wasn't utility. It was a man like Filu just running around.
There's been a lot of fights in this game where I'm not expecting the player looking the wrong way to win, and then they just managed to take it. Like, I feel like Cratchy should have been dead there. We will be able to hold on to the gun. Vekaj not activated because he was on that other side of the map. And while 12-6, a map choice that isn't really showing as to why. Fnatic are going to take a timeout, but I feel like there's going to have to be an awful lot here to stem the bleeding. I think it's a lot more than just a plus. And, well, the difference in pressure as well. Like, he was part of that big comeback in the last map as well. Like, it definitely showing that the level he's hitting in NAVI is far better than in the teams we've seen before. And it was in a team where, as I said, like, he's a piece of a puzzle, not needing to be the star. Sociable already, ultimate online. The path is set. The Dimensional Drift clearing out angles. Now, Boaster has been a little bit cheeky, a little bit sneaky, trying to find a way to get the opener. He's now got quite a few players behind him. He didn't even know. He didn't know they stuck the angle. Probably expected them to just TP out of there. Instead now, Cratchies has at least found one, but with a massive disadvantage. The beams of the Furies going past each other with a target potentially met, and actually it was almost two, and there is that second.
That's all come crashing down for Fnatic. Is NAVI seem to have map 3 locked in, and there it is. 13-6 breeze ends in favor of NAVI. The series continues on. Bind is coming up.
Have a rivalry with Boasters because he wants to see him get to negative 550 and keep himself at the bottom. And I don't know, I think he's been doing pretty good at getting that to come true so far. I don't think he's helped Xiao's KD at all, but he's been having a bit of a rough one. But maybe Bind will be the map where we can see him take the reins.
Is that the plan? As an IGL, get Xiao negative 500.
Then he'll go to bottom 3.
Exactly.
He goes up the ranking.
This is all the plan.
I feel like Xiao would have to drop a lot, though.
Yes.
I don't think he's
It would
negative
have to be
at all.
half won a split many times in a row for maybe 2 years. But for now, we're on to map 3. Fnatic are on the attack side, and NAVI, they seem to have some idea of where the hit was coming in. You see the rotation from Hero coming through, but although in the rifle rounds there'll be a lot of information, even just off of the bots that they can send through on Filu and Hero, not quite a feature here. But we do see Sociable still has that flash, and I don't know if this is going to be kept to actually fight for space, or if very soon, I imagine it will be sent for information, although that information has just come in a much cheaper form.
Again, that time is ticking. Kayak, though, with his second opener,
Here.
it leaves Ruxic under immense amounts of pressure. Prowler being put through just to try and bait them into thinking it's the other side, and he's going to have to go absolutely ham, and he gets nothing. Vekaz back on the Viper, back on Comfort, it seems. And while, yeah, I was going to say that, but there's going to be a salvo or two, but they can just wait.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well throw your one out. You get it for free at the next round, but... Oh, goodness! Okay, Hero's got one and some damage, but that's all there is to write home about. 4 more players need to be dropped. It won't be a flawless round, but I doubt it's going to be one that the Florals will live to haunt them in. 1-0 for Fnatic, and a very strong start to the pistol, at least.
Yeah, of course, a lot of stakes on the line here. Loser of this game going up to face the winner of Heretics or KC. I'd expect them to be favorites either way. And obviously the winner will face either Vitality or GX. And they'll be looking for a spot in that middle final to try and get themselves through. Second time of asking. And probably save themselves an awful lot of stress. That lower bracket gets scarier and scarier as things go along.
There you go, 643 days
We're
since
getting a lot of
NAVI.
600s.
Yeah, I mean, it was because it was 2023, stage 1, when we saw NAVI beat Fnatic, Angel leading at the time, and that's the only time also that NAVI have beaten Fnatic in the partnership era. It's a 5-1 record in favor of Fnatic. And certainly in the last year and a bit, it has been flawless on their side. A 1-0 start on map 3. A series that often ends up going the distance.
Yeah.
Expect nothing different here.
It's funny because the way that this veto has gone, I expected Split to be the third map. I expected maybe the Fnatic would pick a bit because it's been such a strong map for them. And then I thought the Bind might even be the pick of NAVI, with even though they had a rough performance versus Mates. I still think it's a map that we hadn't seen from Fnatic, but obviously if you go off history, we know that this has always been a comfortable map for any Boaster squad. A map where, well, I think if you look at any Viper lineups, we know where they came from. Hello. That's an easy one for Kayak. And the A site, well, I will say the only risk is if they catch Crashies. That was about it. They do have a nice flank coming in and maybe a nasty surprise. He's reloading. Oh dear. That's not great. A second kill comes through, but Boaster's trying to, but that's a spike on the ground. They have managed to retrieve it at least, and obviously Sociable's so low, but even still, this is far more damage than I was expecting.
Yeah, far more damage than they should have gotten away with, especially when they don't find Crashies and force that fight back towards mid. A lot of players caught off guard, and a heavy price tag on this round already. It won't get any more costly, and at least 2 rifles saved over to the next. Just before we cut out a game, Alpha dropped the weapon over to his teammate, Kayak, and picked up another. So some stabilization in terms of economy, but there's no 2 ways about it. I mean, that is a really good round for NAVI with what they came in with.
Yeah, still lost the rifle, so there's still definitely some expense and not ideal. But they will still come in with 3 rifles for this round, and you look at the players that are holding them, Alfia, Vekaj, And in fact, even the potential of a fourth. Yeah, Bosa's going to bring it in as well. So they didn't lose too much, didn't lose enough to make this a terrible buy. For NAVI, is going to be pretty important to get off to that strong start. We saw this defensive side look pretty good in their initial matchup. A decent trade to start, though. With the squad in black and red, or black and orange, sorry. And we'll see if they can turn that into something. Ruxic has had a bit of a slow start here. They're going to need him on this side of the map.
I'll find you.
Alpha's just taking the top spot, didn't go all the way to truck, and it's a good thing. You can see that Hero and Ruxic were holding that, waiting for him to pop in and give a pick away. But a more passive stance from Fnatic after they take that initial map control, as TP is going to be taken other side of the map. And in fact, Xiao, he's wrapping over through bathroom. He's going to be cut off on this rotate because Alpha is still waiting. But is he looking the right way? He is. We cut to him as Xiao's head is cut clean off, and the double fake for Fnatic has worked wonderfully.
Yeah, still yet to get to the side.
30 seconds left.
With such deep control, again, they've got an extra salvo to try and buy them a little bit of extra time. But I feel like this is something that, yeah, Fnatic, they've got enough time. They're not running it as low as maybe in the past. There's a chance that the special delivery could deliver a kill, but instead, it's Althea once again. There's a reason we wanted him on the Duelist, on the Raze. We know what he can do. Hero's done well, though. In fact, he even doubles up, and Sociable's on a late flank. Seems like he was maybe expecting someone a little bit closer. The Flash has given the game away. I know exactly where he stands, holding the angle. Bear in mind how low Alpha is. He could be spammed out of the box, and the cross being held, but it's Althea all day long. 4 in this round. One of the rifles they had that took over.
1 kill to start, catches Xiao, opens up the space for the rotate back to A. Nice stuff. This one, he's 26 HP in every other fight. Every other fight. He got caught walking back to the bathroom. He swung backside and then survives the spams from Sociable, swinging it together to close that out. That's a ridiculous round from Alpha. A 5-0 start from him as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 when we get to see the scoreboard. Nicely done for Fnatic, perfectly balanced. For NAVI, well, 0 on the board, losing round 3, and again, if they end up losing this map, sure, they've pushed Fnatic. They looked great on map 2, and it's a great sign for their vetoes moving through this tournament. The breeze is now something people have to be worried about.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's all it's going to amount to.
Yeah, we need to see them warm up into this game. I think that, again, like for NAVI, as I said, they'll have to go up against a GX, a Vitality. One of those will have to have dropped down. The other will have already dropped down. So there's going to be a lot of high-pressure games that you have to make the run through. Middle bracket gives you an extra chance. And more importantly, it gives you some time.
And that's something that NAVI will need. Time. Over this year. I mean, something Angel said as well in the podcast about Xiao, right? That about this project in general, that it's not something, obviously they don't come in going, hey, we can lose and it's fine, guys. You come in, you aim for the top, of course you do, but reality of the situation that they understand is that this is something that will take time to build to its highest level, and especially for Xiao, who, again, has been in that system for a long time with Angel, who's been led by him on the server. Now, having that coach teaching you how to lead in the same kind of system, it's beneficial, but it will cut down the amount of time. It won't erase it.
No. Ooh, okay, nice shot from Xiao. We've seen this a couple of times throughout the series so far, the slow start of a team and then the pistols, the low buys, bailing them out. And again, with how slow Fnatic likes to play, they're going to try and sell this ruse once again. This time, though, the rotation hasn't been baited. In fact, no, it's the orbital strike. Time being brought further. A nice shot from Kayak, though, will clear out one of the players here. Xiao already taking immense amounts of damage, and he's not going to survive. The danger slowly dissipating. Hero on site will lose his life to Vekash as well. And although the time started to get a little low, things started to get a little dangerous. Fnatic have stabilized.
It was only it was an easy kill in towards Hookah to start with, but the fact is, the headshot was landed anyway, so it didn't matter the lack of shields in play. Really nice stuff. one player falling in the form of Alfier. Showstopper on for the next. Vakaj 1 away from being the same. He's the one to hunt this one down. Not being the same, I suppose he won't have a Hunter's Fear, or a Showstopper, but will have himself a nice little pit to play inside of. So 4-0 start for Fnatic. Economy at their backs. The fact that they lost an Outlaw but can still play with the 4 rifles that they carried through. They have a Showstopper, they have a Viper's Pit, and they even have Kayak to go into another dimension and hunt them down. For Navi, no ultimates to bounce back for, and that's in a round where they're investing all of their economy. I mean, this is a big danger coming up in round number 5.
Yeah, I think, like, you understand why Xiao used the ult there, like, but now coming off the back of has to be aggressive. Like, you can't allow them to execute. Dimensional Drift gives you info, Showstopper gets the pick, and then Viper's Pit gets you post. Like, will Fnatic want to use all of them? Maybe not, but at the same time, if they do, it's worth it in this sort of round. And speaking of aggression, already, Filu taking that early fight towards the TP, hasn't found anything, but has got a lot of space.
It has got space, but that player going through the TP, Fnatic sense weakness. You know, it's unlikely it's a B stack after that. You're thinking about at least one or two.
They can check as well.
They've spotted them both out. Both players seen. Kayak will take space on the site now on front. Shorty in hand. Players covering from further back. 50 HP left to play with, and a double connection. Huge trade for Alfier. And the nade sent through does damage onto Hero. A pit locked in, and well, it might be costly. They're putting a lot on the line, but if Navi don't go for the save, they will lose everything in this round. Their economy will be in the bin, and Fnatic will have a easy start to this map. They have no choice but to run for the hills and give this one up.
I'll admit I did get one thing wrong. I said he'd find the info, and then I unfortunately said that Alpha would get the pick.
Yes.
Picks. He got 2.
Silly
so
boy.
I apologize. I was wrong. They then did use the Viper's Pit for post, but there was a mistake in there. He got 2 for 1. So
honestly, Tom,
I'll try and do better next time.
Don't apologize for that. Just be better.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, we're going to let it slip this one time. But you're running out of rope here, as are Navi. 5-0, and okay, they save these weapons. That's a great start. No exits for Filu or Hero means no ult online off rip in next round, but very, very high chance they'll get at least one of those to bounce back on. More importantly, we need to see those early fights. Like Filu there goes to the early aggression. I love the idea, but they're waiting so far back. And the fact is, only guy forward can TP, can get that gate crash out of there.
Into it just seconds later. Like, that's so unlucky.
Let's go, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. Rocket Man.
Oh, that isn't a cutback to the pause. That was just now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, clearly...
scribbling down, don't group up against the Showstopper.
No.
Valuable
Fortunate timing.
Bring them down.
5-0. Economy booming, and wow, much faster looking take. Alpha over the top. Kayak's already made it to the back of the site. Hero's been dealt with. Rooksik trying to fight forward, and he succeeds. Can he get out of there? No, the C's has grabbed him, but there's no one to capitalize. He will live to tell the tale. This is where Fnatic can build that post plant, though. Snakebite, Molly, available. It's about clearing those players out quick.
Yeah, here comes though Showstopper, the big problem, and it's called Crash. He's right away. Vakaj and Boaster, 2 versus 4. Boaster swinging backside. What a shot! Great connection. And Molly going to be sent through, but the wraparound should prove to be too much. An isolated fight for Vakaj, though. And the Molly buying him time. Orb, oh, the orb hasn't landed, but it might even give him a way out. With a snakebite in hand, he can make this very dangerous indeed. He goes marching forward, snakebite landed, Rooksik forces the fight, but falters, and Fnatic keep pushing forward. 6-0 now.
I can't believe that snakebite made him vulnerable. Like, completely missed, bounced into a wall, and then he clips it, and he's vulnerable to the bullets. Either that is the greatest lineup of all time, or he missed it and got very lucky. But it didn't matter anyway. Won the fight. And from a 2v4 scenario, it looked like Na'Vi were finally going to have the round on the board. Look at it go! Look at it go!
It went up top!
Oh, that's so much better than I thought it was. Oh, that's insane. He has a lineup for the top of the box. That's crazy.
Yeah, you don't? Come on.
No, I didn't know.
You can't play this game. This is why we don't have Alpha on the Viper on this map. He doesn't have the lineups. So it all makes sense. Jesus, you've got to be so mad if you lose a round like that. For Navi, I mean, they probably don't even realize how ridiculous that is. They saw it from his POV. But a 4 versus 3.
Why didn't Ruxic just block that one?
Pistols in play. Rifle for Ruxic. He's on the right side at least, but how much you getting done unless there's a big pick coming in? And well, actually the pick was onto Ruxic, the man with the rifle. So hey, look, next round they've got a lot to work with, at least for Navi. They've got ultis, they're gonna have credits back, but a 7-0 start, man. This is getting to be too steep a hill to climb. Well, Kayak was asleep. Go back out, go back out.
Go back to sleep.
You got this,
Back to sleep.
He's just hiding.
To be honest, like,
oh, don't knife him. Oh, Vakash. Oh, you. Don't you dare. Don't you. Vakash, no! 7-0. A knife in the back for Navi to hammer home this lead. Oh, no. Well, if Navi...
Xiao's been having a rough day.
They might need another pause.
I think that probably just made it worse.
Do you reckon?
I like the idea that for years he was on a team with Angel and got to... Sorry.
What was that?
What was that, Vakash?
Say again? Tom, as the expert,
as
over to
Londoner,
you.
I'm very offended.
Over to you, Tom. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
Well, stylish indeed. 7-0 start, and for Navi, hope is waning. Oh my goodness. The light is looking very dim indeed.
What are we doing? What are we, guys? This is to keep you in the middle bracket, stop you going to the lower bracket. I'm watching a man wiggle his vandal on a corner that a guy might be on.
We're 2 series away after this one from one of these teams being in Santiago, and we're wiggling rifles at them. All right, we'd love to see it.
Oh well, there is the wiggler. Alpha has already managed to find one. Trade out. Ultimates, they were built up into this round. A chance now to try and deny them at least the additional space, but they have avoided it. And, well, unlike Fnatic, they've actually got plenty of time.
At the moment, Hero is watching for the flank, watching for a player coming through that pit, but he's about to be spotted. Now they know that he's up close. He'll step back just a moment, but the C's goes in. 1 HP. A spam will be enough. The reveal doesn't catch him. No, Crashies doesn't know that he had a player dead to right. Still, those defenders need to push on forward. They have thinned the herd down to just Vakash. And my goodness, he's got a lot of utility coming his way. There's no way Navi are letting this one slip up. No room for error as a 7-1 scoreline. Finally, Navi are on the board.
Yeah, it still took a lot. Like, we saw all those ultimates build up, and they are now all gone once again. Viper's pit put in early. Armageddon to clear them back off the site, allow for the time. And then just holding within the pit. It's a round.
Oh, scheiße!
He's become a local. That's what it is. He's getting.
He actually only speaks German to me now, which
yeah
is a bit unfortunate because I don't speak
And
German.
you only speak Irish to him.
Absolutely.
Where are
Thiago
you?
will say it. Will say fear. 7-1. Fnatic. Could this be the start of the downfall, the crumble? Navi bouncing back. Well, not if Vakash has anything to say about it. This is nasty. They've just lost a round, and their response is to fully freeze and wait. That smoke's going to fade pretty soon. Flash has caught! Vakash! Oh my God, he's got 2! Blinded up in that corner, and okay, he might have overheated a bit, but you know what? I'll take it. He should have been dead.
To be fair, I don't think he expected a third player to even be there once they've pushed all the way far down. Filu, he's in no man's land, looking for a pick, and it's a save. Surely it's a save. I had 2v4 when they have a post-plant Brim ult. All right. Okay,
That's not a free salvo.
You're gonna... That's bought you
now he's running away.
4 seconds. There you go.
He just
wanted them to plant at 37. That's his favorite number.
There we go. Did the math. Tom, you're really on a tear today.
Yeah.
You know what? We're going to take Mini off the desk. We're just throwing you in. I haven't heard him give one of these pieces of insight.
No,
you know
like
the whole day.
These are all leaks.
He's had weeks to prepare as well. Come on, man. Up your game. Then you're going to stare at me like that on the top of the stairs as well? Come on. 7-1. Turning into 8. It's not 8-1 yet. Hold on. It could still be the clutch.
Okay, let's hold on.
There you go, 8-1.
Okay, 8-1.
I mean, look, anything could have happened, Tom. Anything could have happened.
I was literally holding my breath.
As was I. I almost passed out. Actually, can you take over? I'm feeling a bit lightheaded.
That's nuts. The flash just not catching. It's a bit, it just looks away.
And this is the thing now.
Like every maps now. Not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, no more Jet? Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
No one on our desk said
That's just exactly what everyone thought you were going to do coming into today. Coming into map 3, I am going for NAVI. Like, they look like the better team. Breeze, they dominated. Split, they were awful in the first half, and then they learned how to play. I think by and large, I would have more faith in them performing round to round. And yet they have completely fallen apart on Bayern.
Yeah, it seems as well that, like, going back to, like, Alpha on the Duelist has just been disgusting. Vekash has been playing incredibly well, and Kayak is also 10-4. It's not like there's been any slackers. Clutch has won. Everything you'd expect to see from Fnatic. And while Brooksy, okay, he's just gonna swing it. He's feeling like an alpha. Oh my goodness, there's no way he survives that. That's how, oh, and also a TP from Xiao.
Oh, no.
He's gone in to try and help and has ended up as part of the deficit. Now Sociable, this fight versus Alfia ends up being everything. He needs to try and hold some ground, and in fact, Hero's already running his way back. Boaster gives him an angle, but that was a spike. He needs to just get out of there.
Yeah, he's made it back around through long, but ready to burst out of spawn until that Molly blooms was Sociable. No flashes left to fight his way out. The dog sent through instead, but it's already being caught. The snake bite used to buy some time, but the flank up by Hero only spotted now. He's found one, and now Fnatic know they're surrounded on all sides potentially, but the group up in spawn actually gives the advantage to Navi for a moment. Nade and Salvo sent through, but Vekash easily repositions. Showstopper now sent his way. They don't know where he is. A single bullet will be enough, but Filu fires the rocket just before fading out of the round, and by another narrow margin, Navi have a round.
And that's always been the scary thing in this game, is that when they are winning rounds, it's okay, they've had to expend a lot. Showstopper right at the end, just to make sure that the round is converted. But yeah, surviving with one player alive after a save round, it doesn't exactly leave you with loads of credits to spare. So this could almost be a 2-for-1, leaving a 10-2 hop. Of course, they get this back to 8-4. Maybe there's a world. But I do think that anything less is just going to be a bridge too far.
8-4 and a pistol, certainly the game becomes much more digestible at that point, but even on recency, 2 out of 3 the last rounds. Navi starting to look a bit better. It looked like Fnatic were right back to winning ways, but an interruption from the defense. Dimensional drip sent through. Kayak, nice spot of both these players on long. The utility is going to be fired in, and only the one. Sociable's able to get out of there as well. Numbers stay in favor for the defense, and Hero! A triple, as he was the last defender on that B site, but it did not fall. Navi 3-8, 3 of the last 4 rounds as well. Is this split 2.0? They're back in the saddle again?
Yeah, it feels like Fnatic are giving them a way back in. Hero taking so much ground at the end of this one to close it out.
It's just the fighting that's bad. We did good though.
Probably don't want the fighting to be bad, generally speaking.
It's a compliment sandwich. You give the criticism in the middle. He actually gave them a compliment just before, and then that was the compliment in the end. He's just giving. He knows how to give good feedback, although they can't hear him, so he's giving that just to Milan.
Personally, I blame Boaster for getting shot through the smoke.
Yeah.
A random spam.
Do better.
Be better. Well, 1 round left to play for a Viper's Pit and a Showstopper available. Filu almost taking Crashies out of the round right away. The op doesn't get fired. I don't expect to see too many risks being taken by Fnatic unless they involve Alfie going in first with a big old rocket on his shoulder.
No way, they've cleared that corner that Vekash got a double kill from. That's crazy. Good to see that they're learning from the mistakes. Even though it wasn't a mistake last time, they checked it the first time as well. A standoff. A Western, but with slightly more higher firepower weaponry.
Yeah, I don't think they had scopes
Or
like
they've
that.
disconnected, but I don't think so.
No, it's a game of patience, or maybe a game of chicken for Filu. He has to worry about his back when his execute comes through, but he's got two teammates close by to cover him. So not as much of a worry on his shoulders. Showstopper sent in as Alfie takes down Ruxic, but the rest are caught back. The utility keeping them at bay. Where was Hero going? He saw Boaster there. He knew he was stuck in the corner. Filu pulls this back to 3 on 2. What a set of shots that may just have given NAVI the chance. That pit goes wide, but it could fall any moment now. He did just run in there with an op, didn't he? Why?
Yep. There's a risk. There's a big risk. Maybe thought the Viper was planting, but that risk hasn't paid off. Sociable. Round the edge. Still has a flash to play with a pop flash in here, and Crashy's gone. It would leave a 1 HP player. Play more Viper.
Yeah, that was a breath of fresh air for Fnatic. 4 players towards A to start. Not much spotted. Presence now on B. Oh, they've read it. They don't like what they saw on B. They think that was a fake, and they're dead right. The spike has already made it here, but they're ready to burst out. I think they're going fast, yeah. The Yoru flashed through, backside already claimed back. The nade has pushed them in towards lamps. For now, at least, Fnatic have got a foothold to pounce from.
Has a muscle in pistol for NAVI, and with that spike ticking in their favor. And even the HP advantages, you feel like this has to be one that goes their way. Sociable, oh, he's surviving in the corner.
They won't know.
They should have seen that he was caught, though. The siege should have caught him, so they should know that he's in this corner. In fact, a couple of kills coming up. Make that a third. Alfie was well aware. Leaving Hero and Ruxic. That time is ticking so desperately fast. Somebody needs to get on it, and they need to get on it now, and there just isn't enough time. The deadly duo strikes again in the post plant. And NAVI have their much-needed pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, this was essential for their fight back. We said in an 8-4 half, the pistol could really get them back into the game, but you go down 9-3, there's no more conversation, no more questions. We need to see that pistol under your belt, and, well, we very much did in the end. Again, the fact that Alpha found that pick, I thought it was all over. But Ruxic does so well on short, and a spam from Hero that spike wasn't that far away from being defused, and he was running low on ammo, but just about found his mark for the 3rd or 4th time through that smoke in the end. Well, that's quite a response. I didn't see, what weapon did he have? What just got dropped on the floor? Not sure if it's anything worth fighting for. Either way, Fnatic won't go for it.
No, I would assume, based on them having 3 rifles, that it was a pistol.
You would think so.
That would be my gamble. I'm pretty sure it was. And they have to go back in that direction anyway to pick up the spike. So, yeah, not seeing anything collected. Definitely a nice shot to start. Oh, hey, a couple more going back in the other direction. Of course, expectations from Fnatic in this round are almost 0. But for NAVI, it's all about keeping 3 players and the 3 guns alive. Sociable is isolated. That's the only nervous thing. But he was just waiting to catch anybody going for that orb, and he's even spotted the last player as well. So they can now freely go in another direction. They might not want to now, though, because that is a gun on the floor.
Decoy.
Does he just chuck it?
I like this.
Oh, he's just going to leave it.
Kayak's going to put that decoy through, make him think he's going for the TP. I mean, you know you're up against the Yoru, but it could work. The angle opens the door as well, so they're worried. But yeah, the step pattern, it all seems a bit too obvious, and immediately they abandon that position, playing much more passive and waiting for the actual play to come through. Even then, I think he could have went TP and walked around a short with only a couple extra seconds, so NAVI do very well to avoid those dangers. 9-5 on the board, and the slow resurgence can certainly be underway now, but this is the round where it really gets decided when Fnatic get rifles out, because already you've seen I think it was the only pistol they had? Everyone else was on classics, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And the only investment they made got them an opening pick.
Well, yeah, and a gun was dropped. That battle from Kayak drops a Bulldog, and that's gone. He just left it on the floor, didn't even bother bringing it with him because he didn't want to deliver it back to the team. There you go.
Angel wanted it to be picked up, evidently.
The thing is, though, they still come in with 4 rifles for this round. As bonuses go, this was always the NAVI way. It was always the Angel way of trying to make sure that those 3rd round purchases are deadly. And okay, Sociable's going to have to take a hit for it, but a lot of the time you're going to see Fila or someone take the fight and potentially drop a gun anyway.
Gate crash sent towards the A side. It's going to be up into heaven. Really fast rotation. And while that's ticking away, Kayak wants a bit of information to play with. Halfway already gone. And the thing is, I thought maybe he'd run down B long and see that it's clear. Flash out of the smoke, do the TP. Instead, they're going to be a little bit later, and I like this. He goes into the TP. Kayak can just gate crash into heaven now, but causes problems as they think about that bathroom control being taken over. NAVI have more ground to worry about, but with Crashies down, that's going to help him get the spike planted.
Aggressive in their post spawn as well, trying to just defeat anybody in front of them. And that's the Filu we knew from last map. He's had his moments in this one, but that's definitely, by far, the best round we've seen from him individually. The first buy that Fnatic has coming up on the board, and he just completely takes over.
Yeah, gotta very politely ask for a replay of every single one of those kills. That was nuts. And for Filu, again, we talked about this coming into today, and for good reason. He had a very underwhelming week 2. He's a player that goes up and down. I think about last year, I don't think he impressed me massively as a duelist. A tough roster to impress on. But now, certainly today, and up against Fnatic of all teams, he is pulling out a lifetime performance. And it is keeping NAVI alive, keeping them in this at 9-6.
That was something that really interested me when talking to Angel, is like, he said about, like, you might watch players who have decent stats in games, like in officials, and when watching Filu, he saw him play like very, very well in their practices, and he went, well, I know if I get the confidence out of him, that's what I'll see. And I was like, that is not the way I feel like most people would look at it. You will look at a guy who does decently all the time in officials and go, I'd rather have that guy and try and make him better than see the potential and try and run with it. But that's the thing with someone like...
To do him and Artis. It was...
Yeah.
It was almost like a cage fight happening, but verbally. I loved it. But, yeah, I know you have him as a coach sitting there. I mean, you can only imagine the potential that he can get out of these players and how high that ceiling can be with time. Time is the narrative for NAVI, that they need it, that growing into this year, they could sprout into something beautiful, but the reality is, hey, they're not that far away from taking this series and progressing on in this middle bracket Rooksik. This is an angle that Fnatic should be ready for. But, well, there's not much you can do to ready yourself for that.
Yeah, hey, a few bullets shot and you kill off Kayak and Althea, you take it. You take it all day long.
Good deal.
And now they look to rotate back towards the other side of the map. Crashies there. Bandit in hand. The rifle now on Boaster. It's something that they'll be able to repurchase into the next round anyway, so at least looking to try and make this one a bit more costly, not allow the economy to go too crazy, because if you look at NAVI, it's already through the roof. And they will manage to get a couple. Anything more, though, unlikely and impossible. 9-7. Navi again start to streak these rounds back, but you have to bear in mind, I think last time they lost the pistol, right? So Fnatic were even further in the lead.
Yep, and they lost the pistol in embarrassing fashion as well. It was the double flank where they gave up both sides of mid. They got pushed on both sides of mid, and both players that pushed both sides of mid ended up flanking and killing 1 to 2 people.
Yes. Giants, yes. No.
Okay, they have a strat called Giants, I assume, and we're potentially going to get to see it. Let's take a look.
Is it the team or just big people? So, right, start of the round, Social, you're going to flash yourself.
So he doesn't rate GX's initiators, that's clear.
Okay, yeah. What's step 2? And then nobody move.
Flash ourselves, freeze. Okay. I'm scribbling this down, hold on. Mini might want this later.
All jump off the map, even though on this map it's not possible.
Poison's off.
Flash self.
Okay, lose the opening pick to Kayak on an operator.
Freeze.
I'm not seeing the vision just yet.
Give up. Yeah, right. Okay.
And you got the Tiger going through. Gonna clear. Smoke to the back of sight. Showstopper. Okay.
Yes.
So you need to have the showstopper. It's popped towards a player that's very far away. Die. Hero kill everyone, but they don't have Hero on Giants. That can't be the play.
That's true. It could be the anti-Giants play. Heroes their kryptonite. Okay, here we go. Kayak's on his way through, clearing out all this space. Spotted Sociable already. That's one on his radar. Second player needs to find. They need that information. He doesn't spot him. Okay, so now hiding in the shadows are NAVI, and they're striking from them too. Boaster gets onto the site, but a problem with the salvos going through. Heroes bought them valuable time as it keeps on ticking. Fnatic need to get on that spike. They need to buy a little bit more time for themselves, force those fights halfway! Boaster's got the first! He might just have this! The shots don't land though! Heroes there to save the day, and the clock was against them anyways. NAVI with another, and you know what? I feel foolish for doubting the strat. I should have known from that flash.
Yeah. Win, flash yourself, go 2 players down, win a 3v5. Maybe the strat was the last round. Now I'm thinking about it. Because he said it during the last... Never mind. Never mind.
Nice,
5 in a row.
Come on, man. Come on.
And it's starting to slip away from Fnatic. We saw the same thing versus BBL. Hot start to a map. Gave them some space, gave them a little way back in. And now Navi are back at the races, popping off individually, having those same clutch moments. Okay, goodbye, Ruxic. Sleep well, at least until next round. Going back for a little bit more. Okay, Filu. To be honest, to go for the same fight, it's risky, it's bold, but it has worked out. Managed to get rid of Alfia, who was the man with the Guardian. I'm sure that will be picked up. There you go, into Kayak's hands. But still, they've got a wide net spread. 3 players looking like they're posturing towards B. And in fact, the 4th of Hero is going that way as well.
Go for the walk-up on Fnatic. The timing here, I think they'll be a little slow, but it depends on Hero. He could get caught here. And in fact, he sticks around. He's catching them instead. The trap sprung. And a man with ult and salvos to play with doesn't need any of that utility belt, cleaning up at least the first 2. They've rotated around to the A side, so he'll be on his way back. He'll have a third fight, but I think, thought it would be an execution. He's turned back just in time. Well played by Hero. He's fought that round, fought for it essentially himself in the spawn. And 9-9. The comeback is on. 6 rounds in a row. And it was the 5th that really changed this for me, because that's the bye round. Fnatic falling there. It was a guaranteed equalization.
Well, especially from a 3v5. Like, that was the problem. They got the 2 opening picks, and then the fight comes into the round. I want to say as well that Hero, I was worried that we saw all the stats at the beginning of the day about how well he was playing. He's been a bit quieter. This map, he has been nuts. 21-7.
Filu was like 18-3 starting out one of the maps, so it's hard to also have insane stats when your entry just picks up everything.
Welcome to my
Viper's pick gonna be put in. See ya. Alpha, what a response! That pit gave away the position, and Alpha's kill now causes a big headache, and they even put through the tail on a Yoru who TP'd. So there's nothing found for that. A huge early advantage for Fnatic to play with. 2 big ults removed.
Yeah, and then already they're ready on that side of the map. 3 players there. Gate crash. If the pressure was then to come back through. Ultimate. Obviously dissipated. Chow's one away. But it definitely looks like a much better opportunity for Fnatic. With Kayak ready and waiting to catch on the cross. He hit the shot, and that's enough to help out his teammate, and the second player's not so lucky.
Yep. This should be the round wrapped up neatly in a bow, and the question now for Fnatic is, will they lose anybody? The convincing performance. Kayak wants those orbs. He's hungry, running it down with the op, and a third in this round for him. And in-zone flawless as well. That's Fnatic's first round on the defensive side, put on the board, and convincingly so. Consider as well that it was a 5v3 in the previous round. And consider the ultis put in by NAVI here.
Well, it was also a 3v5 that was created by Kayak getting 2 opening picks. So, if anything, it should have been the second round. Kayak almost individually won them. Of course, the showstopper helped, but he kills 3 and hits the other one for what, like the 100-odd damage? So, that operator for Kayak has already been decisive in the defense, and it's something we have to see if NAVI can deal with. Do they pick up the pace? Do they group up to try and put the pressure on? Or is it this continuous, slower style of play? We saw them with an impressive comeback on Split, and it wasn't enough. Is it going to be the same again?
A minute 15 on the clock as NAVI spread the net, but now that net's being pulled back. Everyone abandoning the A site. Making a move towards B, and normally you see this gate crash for the rotation, right? But here it's a passive fallback, so it means that rotate's going to be much slower from Kayak. He can't get to the B side to help out, and they don't have any real info on B either. I imagine we might even see them attempt the retake, unless they're going to just hold their ground individually. Orbital strike already sent through. I'm quite surprised that it was deep to delay towards Hookah, but those rotates are going to take so long that NAVI just have to wait the util, and now they play more or less the same exit they would have. A safe corner for Boaster at least, and the catch has made it to the site.
Yeah, he's now the cross held by Alpha. Early trade. That catch desperately low. And they picked off a low Boaster as well. It's all starting to fall into place for NAVI. The remaining 2 have a decision to make. The credits there, sort of, but that operator might not necessarily be an option. And with 4 players standing, you almost feel like there needs to be an immediate pick, an immediate mistake. Oh, that was the opportunity. Sociable to 4 health. That's the second time Kayak's been a little bit unlucky not to get a kill, but I almost feel like it has to just be the operator save. Take something back with you. It's just the timing for Crashies. If he throws away his gun, he might lose his life for it.
It's time to go, but he's looking for a little bit more damage. He wants those picks, he finds them, and now to flee for the hills. I think he's made it, and nicely done. Great value coming out of Crashies in the end. Double digits, though, for NAVI. Neck and neck again. This was a 9-3 half, and we commented throughout how NAVI looked flat towards, well, it was only towards the end of the first half that they really woke up, that they really found their mice. And to see it again happen to Fnatic like this, first of all, you got to really credit NAVI. This is a squad that has an IGL who's a rookie in that role. He's got 13 days of IGL and under his belt. Maybe a few more if you consider practice. But to deliver this level of performance, because it's not just a close game, it's a comeback against Fnatic. That's impressive.
There's an opportunity there. I think Shao just dodged the pre-fire angle. He's been burnt by that spot before. An early stack up. Operator, of course, saved from the previous round, and Lekaz has now used his pit towards A. That's why you see this early stack of players. The fact is, though, Sociable has gained the Seekers, which as a counter is about as good as it gets. I wonder if they'll go back and try and pressure that pit.
Toxins going up.
Oh, still a lot of presence outside of B.
Toxin screen down.
Doesn't look like that's the idea for now.
Got the
They
spike.
push back to A if they need it, but with that pit up, I don't think there should be too much of a challenge there for a while. 50 seconds on the clock. And Navi have shown the willingness to play this a little bit slower, but not quite to the degree that Fnatic have. The push now coming in, but Kayak finds the opening. Hero stepping in through the smoke has already landed two. That's the B site completely under their control thanks to Hero. Bakaj will try to make this more costly for Navi, but the late play by Ruxic has shut him down. They knew he was there with the TP giving away the Q, and honestly, I'm surprised to not see a save already, but they're going to go for this. A 2v4, now a 2v3. Kayak's up, could get them right back into this, but Hero again lands a big round. That's his third of this, and Navi's lead as a result.
It's fun because we've got the talk about this Fnatic roster with Vekash coming in, him having a great game. But you do have to kind of look to the other side and go, well, there is the one who got away. The one who you let go, the one who was standing in for your squad and has now headed over to NAVI and might be the one to send you into that final life, that lower bracket. Hero is cooking, 25-8. And that's the thing, in that a path that they were going to go down, building up their new IGL, bring in Filu from a squad of nothing, like failures in the past, and turning him into a duelist that people would fear. But he's done that today. And they might be able to pull off a crazy comeback versus the comeback kings. Of course, it's not done till it's done. It's not over till it's over, but you have to fear for Fnatic at this point. The early aggression looked like it could have given them something, but NAVI were aware. NAVI were present and have fallen back, are playing patient, especially after the pause. And already decent info. Pushing forward is not going to give anything over. Hero once again toppling a Fnatic foe.
This time Fnatic with so many weaknesses, already losing a player as well, and a showstopper to fall back on. Honestly, they need to get rid of that in this round. Otherwise, Navi have two chances to close this out. With a big ult coming in right off rip. This game could slip away from Fnatic's grasp. This series, this head-to-head that Fnatic as a roster haven't lost since back when Leo played, back when Artis was on this Navi roster. Completely different time, and Angel, the only time they could take down Fnatic over 600 days ago. And now he steps into the coach slot, and it seems to make all the difference. They are just one round away, unless Poster has the round of his life, from locking in a 2-1 victory over Fnatic, from changing the partnership record from 5-1, 5-2. Hey, it's not much. There's still quite a gap in favor of Fnatic, but it will start this year off with flying colors for the new and tested Navi.
I'll tell you for free, the version of the matchup that matters the most is always the most recent one.
That's for sure.
I don't think Angel or Navi are going to care. His record as a coach will go through the roof. But more importantly, it will put them one victory away from that middle bracket final. A chance to make an international with a squad that he's already been building up, as expectations were to trial things. Posted with the early fight. There's still fighting Fnatic. Kayak on this defensive side has been very good with this operator. Has made things much more awkward. And NAVI have done well to soak up the pressure. This man especially. I'd say that maybe he's having a standout performance versus an ex-team, but he's done this every week. He's done this every game. It hasn't mattered whether they won, whether they lost. Hero has been on point. He's found that consistency. And now they need just one of the next two.
Fnatic were 3 for 3 in matchups last year, up against Navi. Not looking to let it slip as Kayak drops Hero 2 rounds to get to OT, and Fnatic already putting their best foot forward to start this one.
left.
30 seconds on the clock, and the wraparound from Alpha should lock this round in for good. It's a freebie, and he even doubles up. One more chance for NAVI before overtime. They've got the credits for it, that's for sure. But that valuable showstopper,
10 seconds left.
not in play anymore.
Oh, nice shot from Xiao, but I think the next one's going to be a bit tougher. 12-11. Another solid round from Kayak with that operator. That's the main thing for me, is that they have that coming into this next round. A chance at OT. Of course, they almost lost to Foot, but managed to see it out in overtime in 2 different maps. Of course, for Foot, they faced elimination after that game. For NAVI, it could be the same story. They can't afford to let this one slip. The problem now, though, is that the ults are not in their favor. They'd have to go to either side of the map to collect an orb for a player if they were to get them, or find a kill here or there. For Kayak, he can play a little bit more sparingly. Speaking of sparingly, look how far Ruxic went!
That was an early bit of aggression. Kayak as well with the same, going back in, but Alpha, oh, he's tucked in the corner. That showstopper, it's going to be popped right here and now! And the connection only gets 1! It looked like so much more was possible. He can't even fall back. Kayak's missed a shot! And they broke his gate crash! A 3 versus 2 now! Just moments ago! This looked like Fnatic had guaranteed themselves an OT. We're moments away from it, but now the Cash and Crashies, they have to get in there and defuse the spike, and Filu, on a tear of a game, has slipped away from the site. An uphill battle in this retake. If the Cash has had one hell of a game, they have no info.
Prowler finds nothing. Reveal still available. Vekaj will be the first point of contact. He spotted the head, but the same for his opponent. Here's the steps back. But that time has been ticking for quite a while. They need to get a move on. Crash is only just making it into the site. They were waiting for the Viper screen, hoping that that could give them a little bit of a break. The spam through hasn't managed to deny it. In fact, they're just trying to stick it all the way, but it has been stopped. They need to get back on it. They need to do it now, and they've done it at the last second. Always leaving the heart fluttering, but Fnatic take us to overtime.
Overtime.
They waited so long. We came into this game talking about how much Fnatic like to run the clock down. We meant about the attack side, not about the defense retakes. They came back in there, though, with full toxins. The wall goes up, and it's a problem. A blast pack stopped that diffuse for a moment. Less than a second in it. NAVI were just about to set the history book straight, and instead we're on to OT.
It gives me flashbacks. A man let go. A man without faith, but Vekaj had full faith in Crashies to hold the line. And boy, did he hold the line. NAVI, they had that victory in the palm of their hand, 0.9 of a second. And now they have to fight back once again. But Ruxic, that fight starts with a Vekaj death. I'm sure he'll be happy with that after the last round. But there will still be a plant. And a very aggressive position for Alpha here.
Yeah, he's up in heaven. And they've pushed all the way into the spawn, swapping positions completely with the defense. And the thing is, for NAVI, you're about to burst out of bathrooms, come in through short. You think that you'll have the element of surprise. You think about those close corners that you need to clear. Not often will you focus your sight so far back. Alpha, he's already got the opening, but that just brings them back to a 4-on-4. So he wants more. Back out with another. Alpha puts them into the lead in terms of numbers. Molly down buys a bit of time too. A nade online with that second kill, and that means even more delay, even more damage. Xiao's almost gone down to it, and then the salvos come in, and then the cavalry arrives. Fnatic 13-12. They have battled back to the lead, and now they can take it home.
It's crazy the spot we find ourselves in. The mid-round adaptation to switch up to the back of the site. As you said, I'm sure NAVI came into that going, we've got the element of surprise.
Yeah, close right,
like,
could be up top.
There's going to be somebody watching the spawn. We're all coming from behind. They're never going to see this coming.
I need Well, there's a
Stay
pretty wide
focused.
tip on that bottle, so all I'm saying, we'll get you sorted somehow. 13-12. 9-3, I thought Fnatic are going to win this game for sure. 12-10 to NAVI. I thought NAVI's got this, and now here we are fighting for survival on that attack. And Sociable already claiming the first life, a step in the right direction. Another OT needed for NAVI.
Sociables had to flash back the other direction. I don't know if he will have expected this deep control to have been claimed. But he's definitely being careful of it. That second flash, I said, he's always been good to hold it. He's holding the angle, but lost the fight. Boaster will take him out, level things up once again. As they back up towards the other side, this is where Vakash will be under some pressure. And actually, Alpha,
Prowler didn't see anyone.
The Prowler, I think, did it catch him?
I don't think so. I'm fairly certain it ended right at that corner. Hero has flown under the radar. They have no idea that he's here, and they won't think about it for a few seconds. This is a free double for Hero. In the pulse of NAVI, it doesn't go quiet just yet. Boaster, I think this would be a play to remember. A play that would haunt Angel's nightmares as he watches from the coach booth. But even with the first, so much more needed. Another will get Orbital Strike online.
Yeah.
And he
No
has a
smokes,
molly,
though.
but it's in the wrong spot indeed. No smokes is quite the issue. And a shot to the head locks in another OT. This game ain't done yet.
Oh, the heart attacks continue. No one able to take that finishing blow. And the fact is that they won this round off a millimeter of a Prowler. Like, that was it, just the tiniest
one step.
of margins. And that's Hero winning the round. And it's also the worst player that you could have missed. The guy who's 31-11 right now. The guy has had more, not like
No, not like historically. Kickoff. This year kill leader, or kill max, K-Max as it's called, is Alpha and Zeus from the same map. From the Corrode 18-16, if I'm not mistaken. It was a hell of a long game, but here we are. Heroes 2 away from
Toxin screen down. Here.
pushing that bar up maybe more than a few notches, depending on how long this one goes.
Well, 13-13. Fnatic have had their fair share of overtimes. On NAVI, this is their first.
Scout destroy.
The pressure placed. Hero being hit by everything, but still standing Xiao under serious pressure. But he's gone down to the snakebite instead. Even still, though, Hero may have been hit by every piece of utility under the sun, but he'll still take down Alpha. And the reposition is wonderful. NAVI reclaim the lead. The pause maybe making a difference, but Hero certainly is.
Oh, that's gonna suck. You know, Hero just there, he got 2 assists off that drone. He basically gave those kills away. And if he got those 2, that'd be his kill max, you know? I'm sure he's devastated at 14-13. About to hand it over to Fnatic again, as you said, a team with a bit of history. Not just in the head-to-head of organizations, which stands for most of the Fnatic players who lived through that, who stands for the IGL on NAVI. But also in terms of some of the players on that other side who they gifted over. NAVI 14-13. 1 needed.
It's going to be brutal. One of these teams will hit that lower bracket after a close-fought match, after opportunities taken, and we'll have to march through the teams that come up to beat them. It's not going to be an easy task to make it all the way to the end and only have 1 opportunity. And for NAVI, this is another attempt to close. They've
Locating targets.
struggled to do that thus far. We're moments away, less than a second away in regulation. While that time is ticking down, pressure being put onto Hero, but I'll be honest, I want to avoid that guy, but there's still another Turkish superstar that's caught them on the other side of the map. Vakash, though, that's going to be the spike down. Sociable needs to retrieve it, and he just about manages. He'll get to that B site, and Hero's been left behind. The snake in the
30
grass.
seconds left.
He's heard all 3. He's just heard all 3 players step towards the spawn. They could call for the rotate back, but instead the plan comes in. Hero so far away with no salvos to play with either, and he's going to wrap all the way back through the spawn. I mean, this gives a window to strike for Fnatic, and although Sociable goes down, that pit still stands strong, and look how deep it goes as well. To walk through that choke point leaves you on a sliver of HP. Vakash can barely cross the door without going down to 1. They're going to have to challenge him, and they have to deal with Ruxic, limited vision, barely any health. They heard the shot though, at least an idea, and that's Ruxic down. A chance for Fnatic to carry on as Crashies lands the shot to Hero. They've got this, another OT. Fnatic, they're not gonna give up just yet. It's so close every time.
It's that duo again.
Yes.
That's the same two players that retook the last time. The same two players that walked in to an impossible scenario, walking through a Viper's pit with Hero on the other side, and still come out of it alive. Maybe, like we always talk about Brashies, but I'm looking at Vekash and Crashies as potentially the duo you have to fear the most. And well, NAVI, another opportunity slipping through their fingers. That's going to eat away at you.
Phenomenal reveal by Crashies as well. If that doesn't land, this game plays out completely different. That one shot fired, it gave the game away. It allowed Vakash to find him. And the duo of Kekaj, again,
We'll
find that
workshop that.
victory. Oh, I think it's fine as is.
So what would you do if it was Kayak?
Bayak, obviously.
Well, Filu, he's already managed to take down one of the danger men. Vekash is gone. Now they look to quick swing back in the other direction. Bear in mind, there is only one man currently there, but the full rotation, the full force of NAVI is looking to try and run it down. The goal for Ruxic is buy time. Slow them as much as possible, even putting through salvos, but Filu has then been caught. They can look to try and get that spike in, and they will succeed.
Now planned for now. The TP hurt as well, so they know that Bath is going to be taken over, but Kayak is
Dodge the Tiger.
playing this one nice and slow. He's given up the control, but Alpha here waiting to strike in just a moment. He swung a little early, and Sociable manages to drop him. Numbers thinned out somewhat. No Molly left to play with there for Boaster. It's going to go halfway up already. There, the Molly lands, and it had already been fired out. Thankfully, that buys them precious time, but it's already halfway defused. Crashies, he's got his work cut out for him. 3 bodyguards defending as the defuse goes through. NAVI again. Another chance to close out this series, to beat their rivals from day one of Valorant, let alone, now we're going back to party pirates when it comes to Angel, but in partnership, a record that is stacked against NAVI, maybe about to change.
Yeah, it's a lot of maybes with how this game has gone.
Nice! Good shit.
Wonderful retake. Even with all that post-plant utility being thrown in, they managed to still have so much time.
2 more, come on.
That's only kickoff record, isn't it? He's got a way to go.
I'd like Hero to have that.
I think he needs to get like 40 if we're talking about EMEA in total.
Poison orb emitting.
15 to 14. Fnatic. 1 retake with 2 seconds to spare through a Viper's pit. The one before that
Portal
with
closed.
0.9.
Time to jump.
They've been cutting it close, but each time have managed to bring back rounds. And Kayak, well, we didn't see him have the operator the last time that he was caught by Sociable. He's taken a risk. No shields. Might just have to escape this one. Sticking around a little bit longer, but will eventually have to leave. Oh, almost caught.
Still 100 HP. Did 4 shots. No hits just yet, but Alpha's here to change things up. Fnatic, they're holding on to life again. A 4 versus 2. Hero spam not quite landing, but here comes the salvo. That's going to open the door. Hero's got a challenge coming his way, but Vakash wins it. Hero's the one forcing the fight, but Fnatic forcing the fold of NAVI, that advantage. It's about to bounce back.
Oh, well, for Ruxic, 12 seconds, 4 to find.
10 seconds
He
left.
spent about 30 seconds trying to just kill off Bekaj. And I don't even think he's going to get that done. Nope. In fact, Bekaj will put him down. 15-15. Fnatic may be going into a deficit each time, but Navi just can't close out this game.
Another one. Yeah, give us some more OTs in this. For Navi, this has got to be soul-crushing, man. They've been so close. And after devastating starts, this was really nice from Bekaj there. The fact that he wins that, yeah, it can be a bit punishing, being a bit unforgiving. But
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
a number of rounds, they've been so close to connecting that victory. This is a game that feels like it could be theirs. That slow start on Split, hell, it could have been a 2-0, but instead, back to square footing yet again. Fnatic on the attack, up on Kayak, up on Filu. It's the same old story, and a very, very slow approach for that exact reason. Both teams being very cautious about giving away that opening pick. But the problem is when you do that, you got to kind of telegraph where you're going or where you're looking for those picks with utility. Like here, we see the Prowler put through on Bathroom, and then an immediate focus on the B site. The idea being once they make noise over there, hopefully Filu pushes up, gets a bit curious in Bathroom, and can be dropped by Kayak. But this slow play, it's not luring Navi into any fights. I mean, they know who they're up against.
Dodging the drone might call into a false sense of security. Ruxic's now spotted them looking to cross. Orb in place to make that plant a little bit more awkward, and Filu, the operator, in a good position, but he's missed. And now he's under pressure from Kayak from behind, a step too far, and he is dead to
30
right.
seconds left.
That's another time they've been caught in the back line. And in fact, it's a spam shot that clears out another, leaving just Sociable standing. Fnatic might be about to have their first chance at victory. Unless Sociable can pull off a miracle. The first comes easy, but the next is tougher.
Okay.
Bekaj down as well, the player above. Surely he doesn't expect an Alpha will make sure this Turkish brother gets no further. Now Fnatic have a chance to close.
Will they falter at this hurdle? I mean, it's been a back and forth affair. Attacking rounds, defensive rounds.
Normally saw him.
Normally when we get to this point, Tom, it's like, well, both teams are really good on the defense. First team to win attack, that's the team that wins. This has been back and forth. There has been no predictability to this. As we move into yet another round, number 32 of Bind. Navi now have to fight for survival after knocking on victory's door multiple times throughout this map. Fnatic steal the lead at what could be the final hurdle.
Well, this is what we talk about when we talk of rivalries, a cult classic. The Fnatic could look to end. Or will there be more bends, more twists and turns in the tail? Bosa's Molly's going to start things off, burning at their feet, but the openers have gone the way of Navi.
The advantage there's for now, but the spike not planted and players incredibly low. That even took Ruxic down to 5. He got hit by the final shot, I think straight into his shoelace. The rotate is going to get this plant. I don't see a way that they can stop this now. There's no nade left to work with for Alpha, but Crashies gets space. What a shot, but it's traded. So important for Hero to strike, but he's the only player with health. Ruxic on 5 HP will quickly be dealt with. And they know Hero's towards that backside. Crashies Prowler doesn't make it around it, doesn't find Hero, who's sneaking his way back behind that tall box. It's all going to come down to the timing. Crashies! What a shot! I need that slowed down and then slowed down some more.
He is staring across the stage as he defuses. That is a Red Bull clutch and a half from Crashies. And well, one chance was all Fnatic needed.